All right, good evening, folks, and welcome. We're here tonight for the Thursday Night Thunder. That's right. The 358s are out here storming around the track. These guys are getting kind of geared up, getting set. Well, we got our SBGC3D.com pre-race show, and if you've not checked out Tom Taylor and company over there at SBGC3D.com, check him out because since 2016, he's been doing 3D printing, and he's got some outstanding work that is just top tier. He's got a lot of great 3D CAD programs and equipment. So check him out, SBGC3D.com, as always. And well, John, last night, Hometown Heroes had fun. It actually was an exciting night because it looked like some multi-groove racing, but we're here at Williams Grove tonight. Kind of like what USA was.
Yeah, big long straightaways, narrow corners. I think the corners at USA are a little bit more sweeping. This track is actually like Martinsville. So for NASCAR fans out there, this is Martinsville. Long straightaways, paperclip corners. Go down, you got to actually hit the brakes here a little bit and get the car turned and that kind of stuff.
Well, brings us over to our Pit Stop Podcast qualifying session. Check out Pit Stop Podcast. Check them out every Sunday through the week. Him and Preston Kremler and Roger Craig get out there in the Coast to Coast Racing Network on YouTube. And, hey, they give you what's going on in the world of Coast to Coast Racing League. And have some great guys, drivers, sponsors, and whatnot. Special guests come on board. So check them out at Pit Stop Podcast. So he puts it on a quick time up here tonight. And I want to go ahead and shout out, apologize out there all season long, and this is where my shortcomings of dirt has been there. Is I have said the 358s were big blocks because I thought they were big blocks. Don has educated me on the fact that 358 is actually a small block. There we go.
Yeah, they're small blocks, but I tell you tonight, though, there's going to be some trouble spots out here on this racetrack. So even though you don't have the power, you're still going to be able to get yourself in trouble pretty quick.
Now, that's the difference I want to ask. I mean, and I guess we could just go ahead and do a ride-along here with you while the qualifying's out here, because that's the big question. What would be the difference between, or the problem areas between the small block and what they're going to see if somebody does a big block later on?
Yeah, a big difference is going to be right about here on the track. Approaching turn 3, and both corners are pretty similar, but as we hit these corners, we are going to be carrying a whole lot more speed at this point in time. Now, when you get up here to where you got to actually make the corner, you've got two trains of thought here that can get you around the corner. Some guys will drive it in deep, use their brake to turn it, and come out the other side. Some guys will brake early, let the car rotate and drive up out of the corner a whole lot more, and that's where the trouble is going to lie, because right here, when you have a full head of steam, if you've got one guy that wants to drive it in deep and one guy that wants to brake early, guess what's going to happen? They're going to meet on the track right about here, and you're going to see guys get turned. And the other thing is, too, is if you've got a guy up on the top here wanting to run cushion-wise, you got a guy on the bottom and he overdrives, you don't have any banking here to help turn the car. What's going to happen is that guy on the bottom is going to reach around here or come around here and hit this guy out here on the outside and send him right into the wall. So that's the trouble spots I'm fully expecting tonight.
And that's interesting to see right there. Like I said, as we head on over to our heat race number 1, Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints, 37 years of 360 wing sprint action. Check them out at empiresupersprints.com and on Facebook and Twitter. As always, those guys, if you like the Northeast style from USA to Canada, check out Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints. We got Jeffrey Barker sitting out front in this one, along with Aiden Young sitting in second, Brandon Templeton up in third, Trent Verstraeten in fourth, Zach Chapman fifth, Jeff Valero in sixth, Joe Canella seventh, Bob DeGood eighth, and Nathan Aldridge racing in.
He may be adminning. I'm not 100% sure who's. It looks like Joe Halter's adminning. Maybe he stepped away or had a computer issue. Who knows?
Okay.
But good news is with the car count we have here tonight, he'll be able to come back, tag the B, and still make the A. So he'll be okay. Oh, I see
Yeah.
Nate out on the track, actually.
Yeah. I see 9 so far. 8 or 9. Yeah, we got 9.
Somebody else is missing because Nate's out on the track. I don't know who's missing.
No, that's total 9.
All right.
Well, normally I'm used to seeing Nate adminning or whatnot, and it will show him blank. I'm kind of used to that. But top 4s, you always know, go straight to that feature. And the rest of the guys, like I said, are going to have to run that alphabet soup, as y'all call it. That'll be interesting to see what's going to happen later on. Here we go. Now, good thing about these cars, unlike last night with those wing sprints, you can do a little bit of side-by-side rubbing with them. You still got to be careful because the wheels stick out a little bit, but you can do a little bit of side-by-side with these.
Yeah, in theory you can. One thing you do got to be careful though when you do get up on somebody, the net code in this, and that's where the hit boxes, and for people that aren't familiar with it, the computer thinks they hit and when they don't, and it might cause somebody to wreck. So there's always that danger with these cars a little bit more than the others too.
Absolutely. What's up, Jeff? How you doing out there, man? Appreciate it. Green flag, pace cars in. Here we go at long straightaway, and he got slammed down, like I said, on the brakes because it's almost flat turned here. I mean, indicative of what Martinsville is. It basically, if they just put, I would kind of like to see that, put dirt on Martinsville. It actually would be a pretty cool one. But here we go. Boys, 3 wide for that 4th place spot.
Yeah, they're getting racy for it. Now remember, top 4, they go to the show.
And you got some heavy hitters there. You got Verstraeten, Chapman, Templeton. I mean, you got a lot of good guys in this heat here, but right now Verstraeten's trying to do everything he can. Now, there's that little contact I was talking about that you could get away with in these cars.
Yeah, and Trent's probably really itching to get back up there and get back in the fight with Zach. Zach overdrove the corner a little bit before, which is real easy to do. You got that slick there, and you don't roll it up, it goes up the track, and you had a little contact, so that's cost him the spot. But that's what we're going to see all night. Getting into these corners, you got such a head of steam. Keeping the car on the bottom is going to be really difficult, but if you can do it, you're going to be fast down there.
Absolutely. Right now, he's got a little bit of breathing room with Verstraeten sitting there in 5th place spot. Young trying to see what he can do because he's got a big, tall order behind him with Brandon Templeton trying to see if he can't take over that 2nd place. Right now, the low line looks pretty good.
Yep. And it won't be long here before they can move up and everything else. In fact, if I was in here running maybe that 4th or 5th spot, and maybe even where Zach is, where I don't really have a whole lot of pressure from front or behind me, I might take a swing at that top just to see what's there, because I think I can hold my position. But when they're nose to tail like the front 3 are, you don't want to. If you try something different, it can cost you when you're that close. So.
Absolutely. Right now, I'll tell you what, Templeton is looking on the inside. It is a freight train for the top 3. Barker, Young, Templeton right there, all nose to tail.
Yeah, they are. And I think when you see cars do that on the track, usually the 2 behind them are a little faster than the guy up front when you see him kind of jammed up like that. But Jeff is doing an excellent job at hitting his marks, not making mistakes, and he's holding that position for right now.
Yeah, it is. See Templeton right there alone behind Young. He's going to try, see, maybe going to get the high side. No, just kind of sit right behind him for right now. As you see out front, Barker. Looks like he's searching around the track back there.
Yeah, and why not? He doesn't have any pressure from behind, so if he loses the front 2 with a lap or 2 to go, I mean, his other choice is sit there in 3rd and run 3rd, so why not take a shot at it?
I'll tell you what, something right now I'm seeing that we don't see a lot of, it probably will kind of clear itself up as the night goes on, is he went in at a high side. It worked going in, but didn't work coming out. Normally, it's the opposite way around. Not too good going in, but great coming out. But it's going to all be Barker, Young, Templeton, and Chapman's going to hang on to that 4th and final transfer spot that heads us off in the heat race number 2. Super Dirt Car Series. They are the premier big block series from Florida to Canada. If you like the earth ground pounding, earth-shattering style racing of big blocks, check out the Super Dirt Car Series. Out front, we've got the Alex Pomerleau, Nicholas Vickery starting in 2nd, Ryan Beagle there in 3rd, Blake Chapman in 4th, Stephen Goldner up in 5th, Connor Ross 6th, John Rayner in 7th, Tater Williams in 8th, and then Folks John's not going to race.
No, I'll hop in the car the next round there. But I'll tell you, this is going to be entertaining. You got Ryan Beagle. We got a bottom fast track. He's running in the second row. He's going to be a guy to watch here. And the other guy, too, who's been quick in these, he's starting on the back of the field there, shotgun, Tater Williams. That cat is fast, and it'll be interesting if he can make his way up and get to a transfer spot. But he's got a long way to go and a short way to get there.
Now, and I tell you what, here's two other things to add to that. Beagle's going to love it. But Victory and Goldner, who are most known for being high side. Now, Goldner, if he has to go low, will, but he really prefers that high. Now, Victory last night was like, I'm going to die by the high side. And some reason he liked it. We'll have to see if he can actually adapt and go down low here and able to stay where he is, because you know Beagle is. I mean, Ryan's going to be chomping at the bit. He's like, heck yeah, I got me a low line style track. It's biting down there, feels good. Problem is, everybody else is going to be down there with me.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, both with Goldner and Vickery, I know that, they might have a preference where they go, but both those guys are fast anywhere on the track they go. I know Nick's, you like saying the top side, but I've been behind that Homicide spoiler enough to know when he's on the bottom, he's just as quick. So I know he says, I like it up there. He may like it up there, but he's not any slower on the bottom, and neither is Steve Goldner. You've also got Connor Ross there next to him. He's been out for a while. He's making his way back, so he's going to be chomping at the bit. This is going to be fun. And now Alex has got to just be up front there and hold all the lions off. We saw.
Good nickname on Vic, man. We kind of start calling him the bad guy of the league right now. So Homicide. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you though, we watched last race. Jeff Barker won that race because he didn't make any mistakes. He hit his marks. Corner entry. That's what Alex needs to do here to win this race, is make sure he's fast enough and he can hit those marks and not make a mistake.
Here comes the life. 358 here tonight. Hometown for our, hometown heroes, Thursday Night Thunder. I see Vic trying that high side to see if he can't get out front. Down low, here comes Beagle. I knew it. Oh, contact though. Just like that, and ooh.
Ryan tapped that inside wall, and it shoved that nose right out, and chaos there on the start.
Yeah, it was, and that put Connor Ross in the fourth and final transfer spot. He's got a little breathing room. He sees Pomerleau in front of him with Goldner. Now, Goldner is trying the middle side of the track right now because he can't get down low. Pomerleau, the car slides up the track just a little bit. That's just one of those things that it always amazed me how y'all try to control those things. Because once they start sliding here on dirt, there really is no control, I don't think.
Yeah, you can do little things from in the car, let off the gas and stuff like that. But if you keep spinning the tires, you can spin the tires a little bit to maybe kick it back down, kick the back where you can drive back down the hill a little. And that's the biggest thing to learn. If you just want to come in and try iRacing, people will find it's pretty easy to get around the track on their own and turn laps and that kind of stuff. The hardest thing in racing, both in virtual world and real life, is getting yourself out of trouble. Once you get into trouble, you're learning how to get yourself out without either wrecking yourself or somebody else. That is a big deal to learn as a race car driver.
Oh, yeah. And see, it looks like Pomerleau just getting awful tight trying in that middle lane right now. It's just wanting to slide right up there in the top. And I always like that little left wheel kind of cocking up in the air, waving at the world.
Yeah, and this is a track that'll do that. If you overdrive the corner a little bit or whatever, you get back on the gas really hard, you're going to pop that right front up here.
Always reminds me of, I don't know if you remember the cartoon, Speed Buggy.
I remember that cartoon.
You remember that? Yeah, okay. Well, we're telling our age, okay. But yeah, remember he would always take his little wheel and wave it up in the air. That's just always kind of out of it.
Yeah, folks, the big reason you see that here more than other tracks is, again, it's a flat track, basically. So there's not the banking, where you got something helping turn the cars. The right rear are turning these cars. So, yeah, you'll hike that front up just a little bit.
And a lot of torque, too, when they're trying to dig it in there in the backside. And also, obviously, the geometry of the suspension of these dirt-style machines. Right now, though, it's all Victory out front. Man's got Homicide, definitely right now is killing the field. He's got Goldner. He's got his hands full with Pomerleau trying to see if he can get up underneath him. One thing I noticed is Dave came up towards the middle of the track right now, and Ross is gaining on him.
Yeah, and top 4 are all up top there, and then Ross is what he's doing there is kind of diamonding the corner. You can see Connor as he gets into the corner is going high, and about center he starts driving down the track, and that was working for him there. That he closed up there, that just kind of ran out of laps there to get it done.
Good run so far, and it's going to be Victory, Goldner, Pomerleau, and Ross. All your top 4 brings us into our consolation. Wow, so that's going to put us in our B main. And Chip, new sponsor here, Chip Banger Racing. Have to look at the logo right fast. It's banging the chip and ripping the lip. Now, I got to ask you here in a few after I get done with this what in the world a chip is, but we got out front Trent Verstraeten, Ryan Beagle sitting in second, Jeff Flero there in third, Blake Chapman in fourth, Bob DeGood in fifth, John Rayner 6th, Joe Cannella 7th, Tater Williams 8th, and Nathan Aldridge is going to round out this one. Obviously, everybody's going to make it, and like we say, you can either use this one or two ways, and John, you know this, is you can use this as kind of a test session, search around the track, see what you want to do in the feature, or try to get as many positions you can for a better starting position in the feature. So, what would you do?
It depends on where I was. If I was sitting in the back couple of rows, I'd probably try to pick up a few spots. If I was in the front couple rows, I would just run and just see where I was quick at and whatnot. I don't know that I'd fight too hard to do much of anything there since we're all making it. So that's probably would be my plan. And to answer your question about the chip.
Yeah, the chip. What is that? I mean, I've heard rip the lip, but what is a chip?
That's a great question. And it's actually something that's universal between dirt and asphalt racing. If you're ever in a cup car or in a dirt car and you're driving down the straightaway and you've got it geared a certain way, but at the end of the straightaway, that engine starts going pop, 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 pop. You're on the chip of the motor. That you can't.
Oh, rev limiter.
Your rev limiter. That's exactly right. So that's what that is hitting that chip. That means they're going full throttle, hammer down, and they're going up top and doing it that way. So,
and I would say you're probably more so because a lot of times you're spinning wheels here, and that probably happens a lot in dirt, as opposed to, well, I mean, they do hit the rev. I don't know if they hit the rev limiter, but they do hit red line a lot in a cup car, because if they bounce that thing off red limiter on a cup car, it'd probably die after 500 laps.
Well, no, but what they're doing is killing their tires, because if you're on the rev limiter in the cup car, that means you're overdriving the corners. You should be lifting way earlier than getting on that limiter.
Okay,
and you should be. And to be honest, you should be on dirt. If you're hitting that rev limiter, that should be a sign that, okay, I need to work on my throttle control, because I'm probably
got too much gear in the rear.
Yep, too much gear, or I'm spinning the tires coming out of the corner, and that can all do so. Yeah, that can be a very good clue that you need to change what you're doing.
That's a good explanation, because I was wondering what the chip, I've always heard to rip the lip, and all that. That's out there in the top side of the track and whatnot, but yeah, it's kind of cool. Well, here we go. Appreciate those guys who are Chip Banger Racing here coming on board, and our B main underway. Straight to Beagle. Beagle finds himself up top, probably not where he wants to be on the start of this one, but he'll have to see if he can't modulate down low. You've got Chapman right up underneath him. Remember, those two got together a little bit in the last one. They're still door to door in this one.
Yeah, boy, you got 3 big-time drivers right up front here, so they're going to slug this out, knowing that they make it in here. So this is going to be entertaining. Absolutely.
And you can already see it looks like Verstraeten tried a little bit of a slider line there, lost a lot of momentum as he came out of that turn. Beagle was able to get right back on the back bumper of him, and look, he's going back up to the top side. Down low, still Chapman trying. Looks like that middle group is coming in, and the low line's going away a little bit.
Yeah, and they're going to start pushing it up, and they'll abandon the bottom line for the most part here for a little while. And it'll come back in, though, as soon as it gets a little bit higher. And right now, Verstraeten's going to try it down there, but he's running that slider line there to see what happens. So they are experimenting. They're racing hard and experimenting at this point.
Absolutely. Right now, riding here with Chapman, and as you see what he sees, and you saw Beagle take a slider line, and that car just slide right up the track in front of him, which allowed him and just killed all the momentum, allowed Chapman just to put a good slide job on him on the inside. Here comes Beagle. Now he's like, I appreciate it. I'll take that low line and try and see what I can do. It's almost 3 wide for the lead.
Yeah, now I can tell you, too, I bet you these guys are having fun behind those wheels, because you're just trying different things. And even though you might find something, when you're behind somebody like what Chapman is here to Verstraeten, you can test it out, see where, like right here, turn down, what kind of run do I get on? You put all that stuff in the memory bank, so as you're coming up through the field, you know where to size guys up, you know where to seize, you know where to, the best places to pass. It's amazing how much data, you can get from running one of these B mains.
Looks like Chapman is he is wanting to get up there and try to take this lead and win it. But Straighten right now is trying to maybe burn in that top side if he can't get something going up there.
Yeah, and you just never know what's going. You got a lot of different things going on, and that could be very well be. And now Chapman's got a run on him.
Does side by side going to turn. He's going to be able to hold it. Straighten up top there on that top side cushion. Down low, Chapman out of the turn. It'd be a drag race to the line. Boy, I tell you what, by about a nose out front for Straighten had it. That was a good run.
Yeah, and they're going to go at it one more time here on the back stretch. It looks like for Straighten, made that top work just a little bit more, and now Chapman's going to abandon it so he doesn't lose second. He got up there and was able to slide in front of Beagle and cut that pass off.
And here comes the Beagle. That Beagle machine down low. As you see, all nose to tail in a freight train, kind of middle of the track. Beagle's going down the low line, middle side there with Chapman. Straighten up high. These guys are kind of showing you what needs to be done out here in the feature. Learn anything, John?
Yeah, I'm learning that you got a couple of options here. Turning down, diming the corner is pretty quick. Running the top is pretty quick. It's all going to depend on driver inputs and how you do this. So you can be fast doing exactly what Chapman did here to get this run on for Straighten, or you can just get up there and run that cushion. This is be entertaining here tonight.
And another drag race to the line. Off of 4 is going to be Verstraeten, Chapman, Beagle to the line on that one. What a good one. The good comes in 4th, Aldrich 5th, Canellis there in 6th. As folks don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Let's get a word from some of our sponsors out here.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Cool-Ray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
All right, welcome back here. We got our feature tonight here for the Thursday Night Thunder for the 358s. Let's get set here. Grid these guys up because out front, you've got Jeffrey Barker putting it out front on pole. Nicholas Vickery there in second. Aiden Young up in third. Stephen Goldner in fourth. Brandon Templeton in fifth. Alex Pomelou's sixth. Zach Chapman in seventh. Connor Ross in eighth. Trent Verstraeten up in the ninth. Blake Chapman there in 10th. Ryan Beagle 11th, Bobby Good 12th, Nathan Aldridge 13th, Joe Canellis 14th, Tater Williams 15th, John Rayner 16th, and Joe Calero 17th. And folks, just said that these things and rev them up. All right, here we go. Jim's Grove here tonight. 358 style. Definitely, if you haven't already, go out there and check out the Coast to Coast Racing Network here on YouTube, because we're live tonight there, and also live on OSR Network on Facebook as always. But check out the C2CRL.com for the C2C Speed Shop. Get you some more information about the league and the C2C Speed Shop. If you want to just go fast in iRacing, there you go. Your time to do it, but check out C2CRL for all your information on what's going on in the Coast to Coast Racing League. And we're going to get set here. Call this the Dylan Westbrook Racing Crank It Up style.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, they're going to be going down to turn one. It's going to be a lot slicker, and they're going to be on top of each other. So watch this turn one here.
Green flag. Oh, you see them, and they are 2 by 2 all the way through the field. Vickery's got it right now. But it is a slew of a mess out through here. Everybody's trying to see what they could get down low or up top right now.
Yeah, a little trouble there in the back. Looked like Beagle and DeGood kind of got together, hooked together, but they able to get them straightened out and keep going.
Absolutely. Tater Williams back in the 13th spot, trying to see if he can modulate through the front. Meanwhile, middle pack, they're battling it out. You've got the Chapman boys there, Zach and Blake, along with the Templeton, Verstraeten and company. A lot of heavy hitter names. Aiden Young down low, Connor Ross up high. Meanwhile, Vickery, well, we like to say it, he's a thief of the night here with a homicide machine, and right now he is still in the show.
Yeah, he's got a nice commanding lead, and he's out front and got clear track in front of him. That's the best sight in motorsports, clean track. You can't ask for anything better than that.
Absolutely. Goldner trying to see if he can hook up on the back bar of him, tailgate there, and see if he can't reel him in a little bit. He's running that high line, something we started to see in the consolations, the guys up there on that top side cushion.
Yeah, and Steve is really patient, so he can spend laps here early in the race, sizing them up and waiting for that perfect opportunity to get by Nick if he's quicker. And the thing that makes that so dangerous is guys that are impatient, they tend to show you their hand quickly, so you can kind of know maybe what they're planning and stuff like that. But Steve, yeah, he can size you up and come at you when you least expect it. But Nick right now, he's not close enough to do anything with Nick. So Nick's running a really good race here and starting to kind of pull on him a little bit.
Yeah, Nick's looking very good. Barker right now is trying that low line, but he is actually, usually I say when you're on the top side, you're like a rock in water. But here he is getting just freight trained on the top end. Young, Templeton and company's going around him. Now you got Zach and Blake Chapman there. But he's committed to the low line. Well, I mean, probably the only reason he's committed low lines, he can't get to that top right now, but he was committed early to the low line. Now he might be able to slip up there, but no, he stays down low.
Yeah, he seems pretty committed to the low line there, and it is going to cost him a couple positions. But you know what? The tracks change as that cushion goes higher up. Maybe that bottom line comes back in. All of a sudden, he might start picking them back up, one by one.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, still, Victory is pulling away from Ross out front. They've got a pretty good lead and comfortable right now to the third place Connor Ross, who's got Aiden Young on his back end. Templeton's there, Chapman's there. It is a freight train between your top 4 or 5. Go back here to Blake Chapman around 7th place spot, and then Verstraeten, who is hanging on to the 9th. Barker down low. Barker's able to get around him and go back up high, so they're having a pretty good battle right here between them two. Caution out. Joe Canellis. Go to Malcolm Mills replay. See what happened to Joe. Oh, it's like he just went into the turn a little bit too much, and then the guy behind him just couldn't stop.
Yeah, when he got his back end out there, that took all his momentum, and that there's nothing Ryan could do. And these things, we've said this before, they don't stop on a dime. So
no.
So slamming on the brakes, if you do that, you're a wreck on a wreck. So it's not quite that easy to stop, especially at the speeds that you're traveling at a big track like this.
And Ryan's defense on that one too there, from what I saw, was he was probably thinking, he's got to say, so he's going to stay in the throttle too. And then by the time he saw that he wasn't going to get a save, he's already on top of him. Like you say, they just don't stop on the dime, so little bump in the back.
Yeah. But the good news is, if it's a blessing for disguise, those guys, they started to fall back and lose the front pack. So now you're going to get everybody back nose to tail here and get them packed back up. So this is going to be a chance for Ryan and them to make some hay here. It looks like Ryan's coming in and going to get a new ride here. So he's going to come back out on the track and be sporting basically a new car. So we'll see how he moves up from the back.
Absolutely. See if we can't get a few more spots here, because definitely points are involved with these 358 guys tonight for Thursday Night Thunder. A lot of great, exciting sponsors out here tonight, folks. So, and hey, I want to give a shout out to Tom Taylor and Company, SBGC 3D Printing, because they are the title sponsor for Thursday Night Thunder here tonight. And well, like I said, we had a pre-show earlier on. If you're not checked out SBGC 3D Printing, check them out at sbgc3d.com. Tom Taylor there. So, small blocks here, Super Dirt Car Series. And you know who Gambler Motorsports is. Big block.
Yeah, I think I know a few of those guys.
Yeah. John runs it.
I don't run it. We're just a team. We're all together.
I haven't gotten to a heat race yet, do I can ask about y'all still on the same book?
Now I've started reading a new one here about the history of the NFL.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Green flag, and boy, Victory this time. Oh, and he had to check up. Goldner did. And when he did, unfortunately, it's just an accordion effect from there. Really, that's just all you can kind of say on that one. Let's go back. We'll watch it one more time. Unfortunately, Jeffrey Barker got involved there. And it started up front. Goldner ran up on a Victory, had to check up, and then from there it's just, everybody. When everybody's bunched up like that, there's not a lot you can do.
Yep, and that's what I was saying in that pre-race deal. The corners, when you're getting in there, got that head of steam, things happen. That's just a big trouble spot, and that was a perfect example. It didn't look like Nick got through the corner there quite as well as what Steve Goldner did. So Goldner barely checked up. Naden was on his gearbox, and around goes Steven there, and that's a really tough break. Running P2, those are all when you get taken out running P2, whether it's an accident or not. Like this case, an accident, but that's a tough pill to swallow.
Well, not to coin a pun, but he committed a homicide on the track.
Yeah.
Shame on you, Vic. I'm telling you. I knew there had to be something to that homicide thing. He said that's what he wants his identity to be. Bad
Yeah,
guy.
and I've told him too. It's distracting behind you because it's kind of like a hologram-looking thing, and you stare at it, and then, oh crap, there's the
Looks
corner.
cool.
So, yeah, it does. But
You can get you one.
I told him
Boatman or
one of
something on the back.
I told him one of these days I'm gonna end up turning him because I'm like mesmerized by the damn thing, and then next thing you know I'm gonna hit him. So, but
Put you the boatman on your speedboat guy or something. I don't know, something. Put you one on your back end. Oh,
please,
man.
just please don't hit me.
Well, yeah, that'd be me. I'd put caution or something on the back of mine. And that way you know. All right, just be caution around this guy. Gets that go green here. Got our Thursday Night Thunder here tonight. Cool Rays, coast to coast racing league. Check it out. Looks like we're going to single file here.
Yeah, we didn't get a whole
Cars
lap in.
Okay. That's going to help Vic. He's going to get a good jump on the field there. Aiden Young in second. Connor Ross up to third. Everybody travels up to the top. Look at who is up to seventh, though, has made his way up here from these cautions. That's Tater Williams.
Yeah, and he had horrible luck in the heat and the B. Got caught up in somebody else's mess. He's gone to work here, and he's hooking that bottom and picking them off.
Trying to see if he can one by one down here on the low line. He's trying to put a little bit of a slider style line as he's right there on the back end of the straight. And the problem is he's got the next three cars all lined up nose to tail. Going to be a hard pass because he won't be able to slide up into or make a slide job completed. He'll have to stay and be committed to that low line if he wants to go down there because we've got Verstraeten, Templeton, and Chapman all in a line.
Yeah, and that's why you have to go down there. You got to go where they're not. You know, they got the line of cars there on the outside. You know, it's either I'm going to run here or I'm going to try to get around them. And when you make the decision, hey, I'm not going to run here and I am going to try to get around them, you got to go somewhere else.
Oh, absolutely. And right now, you see those guys all in a freight train order. Templeton, Braden, Chapman. You got Connor now moving up on the back end of Aiden Young. And you know Vickery's going to love if those guys get to battling back there.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, on a track like this, and it's going to be crazy because you don't usually hear it on dirt, there's a draft in these cars on this track, this long straightaway. When you get nose to tail like those guys are, you can see they've gapped the field a little bit. They did that a large part because they've been drafting, but now they're dicing it up, and you watch that if they keep doing that, that back group might catch them.
Absolutely. Ross right now tried down the low line, lost a lot. Oh, now he's up into the wall, and Chapman's there with him. Chapman had to check up, and luckily that was not a big wreck.
Yeah, it's a good job for both those guys not wrecking themselves and wrecking the three guys that are right on their tail, too. Good job there by all.
Absolutely. Good heads-up awareness as Verstraeten is still in the middle of that pack along with Chapman, Templeton. You do see Williams down low trying to work over Templeton in the back. You got to go a little further back to good. Now he's got Barker down on his inside, but there's a little breathing room between that pack up front.
Yeah, like I said, they've been single filing, and the draft does has a little bit to play in that, you know. And so, but now you see Tater all the way down to the bottom. They're trying to get around Templeton.
Yeah, Taylor has tried that low line and tried everything he possibly can, just not been able to make up the ground that he needs. Is still up front. And I think Vic brought this out a couple weeks ago in one of the tracks we were doing. What it was kind of like this single file, topside dominant track. It was frustrating as a driver because if you knew you moved down low, you were going to lose some positions, but the only way to pass was up high.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is you look at the contrast right now. The lead pack, those cats are all high. The second group, they're all on the bottom. So it's kind of interesting to see from here on top of the scorers stand.
It is. Now you see they're crossing it up a little bit behind them. As you see Ross go down low, he's going to try it, but that's just it. Ross went down on the low side, and look, now he's losing those positions. So again, I go back, and Blake Chapman's around with Joe Canellis. Caution out. Go back on the Malcolm Mills replay here.
Oh,
Let's
Chapman
see.
took a ride.
Ellis is right there. Oh, got in the back of Chapman. Chapman goes roundabout, upside down. Boom.
Yeah, and that's, at turn 1 to turn 3, those are just tricky spots, trying to get them mowed up, trying to get them turned, and you got people with different agendas, different driving styles, and no room for error. This is a really, really tough track.
I think Victory probably did not want to see that caution.
No. I can see him pounding the steering wheel going, man, come on.
But the good thing is he might get a single file start here.
He should.
Because it's less than 10 to go.
Yep, that's correct.
From what I can see, because it's a little short lettered, it looks like about 4 to go. If I'm reading it right.
Yeah, you're reading it right.
Yeah, it's kind of small over here, folks. Sorry about that. I don't understand why they don't have something on my main screen here to tell me what lap I'm on, so I have to kind of look over on my other screen, which is really small, and I'm old, so my eyes don't work. Good thing I don't have to wear glasses yet.
Yeah, I tell you, I wear them. I still have problems, so I don't know where that leads
That's
me.
a small print. Now I might get out with some reading glasses and a little small print. I might do this.
Yep. I tell you, the top guys here now, they got to start making a plan here for this restart, what they're going to do and whatnot, because this is going to be their best opportunity to make a pass.
You know what I mean? Because you saw that last run there, John, and it looked like nobody could do anything. So what do you do as a driver here?
It depends on where I'm at in the line. If I'm back where Tater or Templeton is, I probably try to go low and just try to drive it in as deep as I can.
Young?
Try to get on. If I'm Young, I follow Nick through 1 and 2, and then try to keep them close, and then figure out where I'm better, and then make a pass in a lap or 2.
Okay. These cars in, and that's where the frustration part comes in. And I know Vic brought it up because he was in the same boat that Young and Chapman was the other week. Just could not make the pass, stuck on that top side. But right now he's out front commanding it, along with Aiden there in second. He's got a good lead. Chapman, a little bit of breathing room, then back to Verstraeten. So your top four's kind of spread out. You got to go back here to Connor Ross. And you talked about Tater Williams. He's definitely going to look on that inside.
Yeah, I mean, that's his only chance to move forward. I'm surprised Templeton didn't go down there too, but I should give a shout out to Brandon Templeton. Oh, we got another caution, but Brandon has been incredibly improved. He has gotten so good in pace and everything else, and it doesn't make mistakes now, and he's really come on this season.
On Rayner. Looked a little bit slippy, slidey, and I don't know who it was behind him. Just got a little bit of the back end and went around.
Yeah, it looks like that's Nate behind him, and yeah, just got the back end out, started scrubbing speed. Nate had nowhere to go, being right on his tail tank like that.
And that's just, product of some short track racing, close quartered, like I said, a lot of dirt. Yeah, like you said, these cars don't stop that fast, and the closing rate, always said it. It's like in the NASCAR side of things, and this happens a lot. You get that tunnel vision. You get behind a guy, and you're riding in his tire tracks, and many times you can get so tunneled on his back end that if he actually comes out of the turn and gets up there and scrapes the wall, you follow him right into the wall with him. I've done it many times. For some reason, I don't know why, but it's like a tunnel vision thing. You just get so fixated on the back of the car.
Yeah, and actually, believe it or not, that's what you don't want to do in a race car. You want to be looking forward and driving the car to where you're looking. You cover so much speed. If you're watching the guy right over your nose, you're going to get yourself in trouble pretty quick, especially if he makes a mistake. You're probably going to make the same mistake. You've always, you look full ahead and drive that car to where you're looking, and that's the way to limit that, actually.
Yeah.
That's where you got to put a lot of trust. You got to put a lot of trust in the guys around you on the track too, because you're not watching what they're doing. You're trusting that they're going to keep going fast and everything else. And even when you're racing somebody, you're not necessarily watching their back end, but you're watching maybe like right in front of them and looking where you want to go, or can you get up there, that kind of stuff. It's amazing how that works, actually.
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of people don't understand. Like I said, a lot of science involved in racing. Physics. We'll set it that way. How's that? Physics. Pace cars in. Single file. Vic gets that good jump on the field. Go green. You see Young. A couple cars, and there goes Young to the low line. He's going to try it.
Yep, why not? I mean, we're getting down here, a couple laps left. That's your chance. And then now it's the only way that Aiden's going to get this win is Nick's going to have to make a mistake. And if he's not careful, he's going to lose second to his teammate there, Zach.
Yeah, and he was far enough ahead of Zach there a couple times to try that low line. I think he felt a little safe, but he's still going to try it again. Just not being able to make it work. I mean, I don't know. Vic's not walking away, but he's not making any ground either.
Yeah, Aiden's been able to gain a little bit in the corner exit, but then when they get to the straightaway and Nick can carry that momentum off the corner, it's just killing Aiden. Here we go for second.
Yep,
wow,
you got Chapman for straighten. Oh, he's going to be freight trained now.
Yeah,
Caution, though.
it.
Well. Oh, and Ryan Beagle going to Malcolm Mills replay. See what happened to Beagle. A little bit sideways back there. The wall snap out and get him. Yep. Wall got him. Hey, looks like a beagle. Or a beetle. Upside down.
That's easy to do.
Oh, yeah. Wall just got out there and grabbed him, but... Well, that caution actually kind of saved Aiden.
Yeah, it really did.
He was about to lose, I'm going to say probably 2 or 3 positions.
Yeah, and now will be interesting to see here if Aiden abandons that strategy.
Yeah, I mean, he had to try it. I mean, we talked about that. I mean, obviously he's going to lose the second place spot, but might lose second place on him. Yeah, I think he's going to lose it, but he had to try it, like I said. You got to do something. I mean, or it's like what Vic said a couple weeks ago. You either just say, okay, I'm stuck where I'm at, and I'm going to just finish where I'm at and just ride behind the guy in front of me.
And sometimes that's what you have to do. If you want to finish second, you can try some Hail Mary move that you have a low percentage chance of working. Or you just have to say, okay, and this is what I've got tonight. This is where I'm at. This is a good points night, or whatever the case might be, and take it and get out of Dodge. And you never want to be in that position as a race car driver because, quite frankly, it sucks. But, sometimes getting that second place is better than, you've heard me use this word before, but get greedy and end up in 14th.
and you're right. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, championship points, and that's what you want. I mean, I agree with you on that 100%. I mean, if you see later on in the race that just nothing's going to work, your sponsors in real life, this is now, maybe even virtual world too, but your sponsors would rather you finish second than dead last with a tore up car.
Yep. Unless you have a auto repair place where, okay, they like it when you wreck and, that kind of, you can plug them that way. But in all seriousness,
tow company or something.
and here's the thing about the first two, right before we go green here. Those first two, I know for a fact, are running for points, and they're counting points. So we'll see how they race each other here on this restart.
Well, Vic's going to get the jump on the field because of single file and that leader's advantage, and he is actually using it, and he takes off. Chapman there in second. Chapman looks like he is pretty much going to stay to that high line. He has not went down low once. As you see Young there in third. Let's go a little further on back because you kind of see Ross maybe trying to go up underneath Templeton.
Yeah, Templeton just got around Ross, actually. It looked like Connor overdrove turn one, and Brandon did a really nice move and got under him and got around him.
Well, the guy that hurt the worst on probably some of those other things, Tater Williams, fell all the way back to 14.
Yeah, but look at the guy who's behind Connor Ross right now. It wasn't too long ago. Yeah, it wasn't too long ago. We saw him crossed up and wrecked.
Yeah, it is. So good bounce back from him. Hard charge there in the 7th place spot. Good in the back. So a very good battle, but still, I don't think that low line's going to work here tonight. See Ross down low, and he's going to lose maybe a couple positions. And meanwhile, it's all the bad guy out front here, Nicholas Vickery with a homicide, and he lost a little momentum coming out of that turn there for some reason.
Yeah, and he's got the luxury. Yep, he's got the luxury to try a couple things. But right now, with that distance, he just needs to bring her home at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you see him dive down low. I don't know if he's trying something maybe for the next race here. Maybe saying, okay, maybe if I can break this monotonous of the top side. But out of 4, final time, it's going to be Nicholas Vickery, Chapman, Aiden Young bringing it home here tonight for 358s to kick off our Coast to Coast Racing League Thursday Night Thunder here. We'll bring up some of these guys and get a word with them. It's a real good race. All these guys out. Can't find them here. All right, where's Vic at? Oh, there's Vic. All right, let's bring up third place man. Get a word with him.
Hey, this is John. I'm in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Hey, Hayden, man. Good run tonight. You tried to go for that win, and unfortunately it didn't work out too much, but you were still able to hold on for a podium position. Great job tonight. Walk me through your race. Anything too exciting happen?
Not much exciting.
When you made up the mind that you were going to try to go low to race Nick, did you formulate that plan on a restart, or did you think, it was just a split second as you got down there to one, or was that plan that you were going to do that?
I kind of planned it just to see what was going to happen down there.
Well, hey, man, it's still a third place finish, a good podium position, good start to the night. Are we going to see you for the big blocks here next?
Oh, you'll see me.
Well, good. Once again, that is Aiden Young, our podium third place finisher tonight.
Yeah, good finish for old Aiden there tonight. Well, this guy here in second place, Zach Chapman, held on and was had a good finish.
Zach, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, yeah, what's up, boss?
Hey, don't call me boss. We're a team, but anyway, hey man, what a good run tonight. You got a nice second place finish out of it. Good points night. Walk me through your race tonight.
Yeah, first thing, I got to owe a little apology to Verstraeten in the heat. He lifted a little bit and was going to fall in line, and I thought he was going to run it in hard into turn one and, try to get the run off the corner and pass for third there. So I drove it in a little too hot in the heat, and I know I made put a little dent in his night, made it harder for him. But in the feature, I just got lucky, stayed up high, was pretty much follow the leader. And when I caught my teammates, they definitely didn't make it too hard on me to pass. They know I'm trying to run for points, so that was a big help too.
Yeah, did you have anything for Nicholas there if you would have got a hold of him and got close to him there at the end?
No, I was trying to pick his brain there in the waiting room, asking him the way he was angling that car coming off the corner, it was like he'd turn it for exit like the first quarter of the turn every time, but he'd shoot off like a rocket. I didn't have anything for him.
Yeah, he was dominating the corner really, really well. But hey, anybody you want to give a shout out here too for your second place finish?
Yeah, give a shout out to I don't know if you guys maybe already did, but best wishes for Jeff Kemper's son. He had that heart surgery and everything went well as far as we know, I think. But other than that, shout out to you guys being in the booth, Gambler Motorsports, Cool Ray Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing, and Bright Box Electrical.
All right. Hey, thank you very much, Zach. Great job tonight on the second place finish.
There you go, Zach Chapman. Like you said, bring it home. Well, this guy here, man, killed the field here tonight. Nick, Joy in the booth, guy cop.
Yes, sir. How are y'all?
Well, just a homicide out here. How was it feeling all night long? It's topside dominant track, and I know a couple weeks ago you were on the opposite end of the scale. You were behind those guys and said that it's frustrating when it's a top dominant like that.
Yeah, I knew after that first long green flag run that all the guys behind me were entering the corner way hotter than I was. I was backing the corner up quite a bit, and Zach kind of mentioned it as well. How I was dominating the corner. So, really, the thing that I was the most nervous about was the guys behind me getting in hotter than I was and making contact. That was really the big thing that I was worried about. And, I think that's actually what caused the second caution is he got in a little hot and had to check up. I think it was Goldner. But outside of that, Diamond in the corner worked all night, and I look forward to trying it again in the big block.
Oh, absolutely. Now, going from the 358 to the big block, what do you think the major difference is going to be in the race?
a lot more throttle control.
gotcha.
You know what I was doing in this race. You know, I was literally driving across the slick mid corner to exit on the bottom. In the big block, if you're on the throttle too much going through that slick, the car will get sideways and you'll lose some of your momentum. In the 358, it wasn't that big of a deal because they have less power. So, yeah, I mean, the answer is throttle control. That's really what it all boils down to. I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of small blocks in the next race.
I'll tell you what, you definitely had the throttle, you had the speed, and I could say we call you Mr. Homicide out there killing the field and the competition tonight. You got anybody you want to thank for a win?
Yes, sir. So again, like Zach said, you know, we definitely want to extend our thoughts to Jeff Kemper and his family and his son. You know, again, we got good news. I think it was yesterday that he come out of the surgery with no major issues. So that's definitely good news, and definitely again, we're still thinking about him, and yeah, we're still praying for him. As far as sponsors, Spartan Racing, it's a good group of guys. A couple guys ran the matinee race earlier, and they definitely gave me some advice coming into this race, so that helped as well. After that is SVGC 3D Printing. If anybody out there has any 3D printing needs, definitely go check those guys out on Facebook. VMR Wraps. If anybody out there needs a wrap, come check us out on Facebook at VMR eWraps. Mirror Image Auto Spa, my wife for letting me do this. Roger and Preston for putting everything together, and then of course you and John for putting on a great show.
Absolutely. There you go. Nicholas Victory putting it in victory lane. Well, folks, don't go anywhere because we do got the big blocks, small blocks coming up next. We'll be right back here in just a few.
Coolray has always been a leader in our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
All right, welcome back. Now we got big blocks, small blocks, which I'm going to go out on a limb and say pretty much most of them are going to be big blocks out here, as John alluded to early on. It's just such a big track, and the benefit of what we saw earlier with the small blocks is just they just wouldn't have enough power to keep up, I don't think, with these long straightaways.
No, they don't. And this one here now, while you're going to have a lot more power to get down the straightaway, it's going to be a lot trickier hooking that power up to the track. So coming out of the corner, if you start to spin those tires, chances are if you don't get it corrected, you're going to spin the tires all the way down the straightaway, and you're going to go slow, much slower than everybody else.
And it has been a good night so far. And we're here in our SBGC3D.com pre-race show here. Definitely check out SBGC3D.com for all your printing needs. I see a lot of guys out there were talking earlier, and about Justin was talking there that a lot of guys, man, are going to actually in real life going to hit that chip, man, in the corners. We was talking about the chip earlier, especially in the 602 modifieds, and you're probably going to hear him hit that rev limiter all night long. And I know Vic out there, he chimed in and says it's a balance between enough gear and not in too much. And that is true. And I mean, that's actually short track racing in general, is having enough gear if you want the gear to get off the turns, but then have too much by the time you get to the end of the turn, because that's usually where that might happen. So it is a balance. It's just like drag racing. You got to know what that medium set is. We get set here with our Pit Stop Podcast. Qualifying session here tonight. If you've not checked out the Pit Stop Podcast, check them out on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. As Preston Cranmer and Roger Craig, they give you all the insights of what's going on in the Coast to Coast Racing League, and have some great interviews with drivers and sponsors and special people up there. As right now, Alan Duranko sets a good quick time out front, putting the pedal down, and John puts down a pretty good time. We're going to ride here with John.
Yeah, looking at those times, I tell you, a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and again. But once again, you know, here we are, the same track. We got a little more power, and right here and how you exit this corner is paramount, because you got a power now. If you spin the tires right here in this area, you've got to be so careful. You got to just come up slowly to, roll into the throttle to make this speed. You be able to use all this horsepower to get such a good run down these long straightaways. And then right back here, the same thing as the race before. This is a trouble spot. Some guys like to back their corners up. Some guys like to charge them. You've got to know who you're racing, because if you're behind someone that's backing their corners up, you're going to just drive in and tag them. If you're one of those guys that want to drive it in. And again, another thing to look at too is if you drive it in too deep, you're going to slide up the track. Well, right here, look, there's no banking. Real easy to do, real easy to slide up the track, and then either clear out the guy that might be on your outside, or worse, if you drive it in, you're going to end up there in the fence, and that's not the place you want to be. That'll definitely hit the fence and kill your lap time. But the other thing that's unique to Williams Grove, you may see guys down right here this close to that inside wall. There's not too many tracks we go to where you're trying to not hit the inside wall as much as you are trying not to hit another driver or hit the outside wall.
There you go. Gives you a little bit of a heads up on what some of these guys might be looking into here tonight with these big blocks. As it looks like, man, I tell you what, Mr. Homicide again out there with a good quick time, puts it on top pole here as we head off in our heat race number 1, Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints, 37 years of 360 wing sprint action from the northeast of the U.S. to Canada. Excuse me, folks. Check them out at EmpireSuperSprints.com and on Facebook and Twitter if you want to learn more about some of the great drivers they have. Out front, Ryan Beagle, John Hines going to start in second, Jeffrey Barker third, Nicholas Victory, who set that good quick time out there, starts in fourth, Justin Sick fifth, Chris Steele sixth, Stephen Goldner seventh. Boy, we have got a jacked heat in this one, but only 4 cars go to the feature. John, well, you got a lot of heavy hitter names behind you.
Yeah, and I'm out of my element in these cars. I'm just not that good in them. So, man, This is going to be interesting. Hopefully I can get behind one of these quicker guys and learn something. I mean, that's for a guy like me that struggles at this track in this car, getting behind somebody like a Justin Sick, a Ryan Beagle, or a Nicholas Vickery. I can get behind them and hopefully learn something that I can apply a little bit later. The nice thing is I already know I'm in the show because everybody's got to make the show, so I don't need to force anything here. I just basically need to go to school and learn. And I think other guys that are in the field that might have that same thing, they'd be wise to try to do the same, try to get to the back of guys that you know are fast and kind of watch and see and try to learn what they're doing.
Absolutely. Well, here we go. Our heat race number 1, Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints. Right, Thursday Night Thunder here tonight, folks. Got Beagle, Hine, Barker, Victory. I tell you, that's a lot of names out there, and only 4 of them are going to instantly go to the feature. Wow.
Yeah. In other words, you're going to have some pretty good names in that B feature too. So it'll be fun. And the cool thing is for you sitting at home, those guys that are going to go to that B feature, yeah, you're going to get to enjoy watching them probably come through the pack a little later.
Absolutely. I always get a kick out of Jeffrey Barker's paint scheme. I always see the Mega on the side, and I think about the Mega Millions, but it's actually Mega Plumbing.
Yeah, that's a Tim McCready tribute paint. That's what you saw in Tim McCready's late model.
Oh, okay, cool. I just see the big Mega, and it's yellow, and I always think about Mega Millions. So hey, there we go. Green flag, racing, big block style here. And boy, these guys storm off into turn 1. Listen to that power. And Barker throws it on the inside. Here comes Victory up on the top side, but you've also got Justin Sick down low. All these guys trying to jockey around to get that 4th and final transfer spot. They're 3 wide. Oh, contact. Barker got into Sick just a little bit. They got together. Justin's way outside looking in. Puts Chris Steele in the 4th and final transfer. Victory hanging on the 3rd. He's harassing the back end there, Hine. John throwing it down the inside. I know he's got that speedboat there. Don't want anybody to sink the ship here, but man, he's going for the lead. Tearing it off down there. The slide job. Oh, the car just lost a lot of momentum down there on the bottom. Had to check up. Good job by Victory back there. Could have easily got into him, but he makes the pass. For the moment on Ryan. Ryan up top. Looks like the inside groove early here is working. As you see Beagle struggling a little bit on that top side. Here comes Victory falling into the tire tracks here behind. These cars look like you can throw them in a lot easier. Obviously you've got the power to slide them in, but they are bogging down a lot in that middle. As you can see, it just kind of killing all that momentum. We talked about that beforehand. Thought maybe with the big blocks with the power you might be able to drive through it, but it looks like this track just so flat, like John said, not allowing the cars to get it done. Right now he's out front leading it with Victory behind him. Beagle sitting in 3rd, still hanging on that final transfer spot. Goldner trying to get up there if he can. Here comes Justin Sick battling back. Sick's a little bit off the pace back here behind him. Everybody's single file right now, kind of that bottom middle groove is what they're using. Not quite yet went up to the top. You see Hine now is down low. Here comes Victory. He shot it up to the top side. He's going to see if he can't drive around him. Well, I tell you what, this might be the night Victory just steps out and says, I have committed murder because I am killing the field and killing our Thursday night here with that homicide machine. Looking strong. Beagle's going to try to ride in the tire tracks of Victory. He saw him do something, then he's going to go down low again. John right there trying to protect that second place the best he can. He follows it back up there. He's going to ride probably and say, okay, I'm going to ride and see what Vic does here. He's got Beagle now looking on his inside. He's down there at his quarter panel. Can't quite make the pass all the way. He's going to have to get behind to make a mistake up top. Never mind, not going to happen. It's going to be Victory. Hine, Beagle, Steele's going to hang on to it. What a heat race. That brings us in heat race number 2, Super Dirt Car Series. If you've not checked out the premier Big Block Northeast Premier Big Block showcasing, as we've got big blocks out here from Florida to Canada. Check out the Super Dirt Cars Series and visit all the exciting action for the ground pounding, earth shattering style that a Super Dirt Car Series has. We got Zach Chapman out front, Aiden Young in second, Peter Breeze in third, Alan Duranko fourth, Bob DeGood in fifth, Barry Goldner sixth, and Kevin Fry starting out the seventh place spot. Well, I'll tell you what, you was able to hold on pretty good out there, John. I mean, but like what you said, I saw the cars. They went in strong, but that flat track just kind of like stopped their momentum halfway.
Well, we had to stop with the momentum. If I would have carried momentum in there, that wasn't the engine or the track slowing down. It was me on the brakes going into corner exit, and you have to do that with these cars. You go so fast down the straightaway, and then you get into the corner, and about the center of the corner, you almost have to park the car and turn it down. I mean, that's what it feels like. You're going so much slower than what you feel like you should be going, but it worked and everything else. And from what I could see, that's what, Nicholas and everybody else, I'm sure I was holding up guys behind me a little, but, we all ran each other clean and we got through it, and on to the A now for us anyway.
Oh, absolutely. It was a good run out there. Now, Vic was able to make that high lane work, and he's just been on a roll here so far tonight. We'll see if anybody can stop him later on, but heat race number 2 about to be underway. I mean, did you learn anything that might be crucial for you in the feature?
Yeah, it's all going to be about throttle control and using and everything else. So it's just nice to kind of get the first laps on the track under my belt anyway. So these guys that are coming in, their first race may not have ran that last race. They're at a disadvantage to the guys that ran that first race because you need a few laps to figure it out for sure.
Now, by finishing second, you're going to be up in the front row, aren't you?
No, I'll be in the second row inside.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're going to be up front either way there. That's going to work out pretty good for you. As pace cars in.
It'll work out for me, but maybe not the rest of the field so much.
Hey, looked pretty good on that first one there for you. Green flag, and man, look at Chapman go way up high. Oh, he had to almost chase that car.
Yeah, he did. He wildly overdrove that, and he's lucky he didn't pay too big of a price for it, but his teammate might there because he had to really check up not to get into him.
Duranko down low, Breeze there with it. You got Young. They're 3 cars battling for that second, third, and fourth place spot because as they've got a little bit of breathing room back here over Fry and DeGood as those 2 guys are going side by side battling. But right now, Duranko's trying everything he can down low if he can't get around Young.
Yeah, right now that's pretty dangerous down there for Duranko because if he makes a mistake, overdrives it, he's going to slide right up there and get into the corner of Aiden Young there. So that inside guy, he's really working it hard to try to keep that car down.
And also, if he slid up our 2, Breeze might not be able to get checked up in time, might get in the back of him and send him around. Yeah, now he's able to get single file.
Real close there. He that was real close to happening, just exactly what I said was going to happen. Alan did a really, really good job at getting it locked down a little bit, not to slide up all the way.
Yeah, good job. Heads up awareness there as you put the Aiden in second, Duranko there in third. You got Breeze hanging on the back end, sitting in the fourth and final transfer spot. He's got a front row seat to those guys battling in front of him. He's just hoping they don't make a mistake. And you see every time that Duranko makes that move down low, that Breeze has to he gets a good run on his back end.
Yeah, he does. And that what it looks like is, if we go back to the throttle control, he's getting a better launch because I think Aiden's getting back into the throttle a little bit too hard and maybe getting a slight tire spin, where Alan there, he is really launching really well coming out of the corners.
Yes, he is. Getting down there on the inside. Breeze still holding on to the final transfer spot. Duranko right there sitting in third. Young in second. Chapman out front in this one. Holding her a little bit off the pace. Good back here in sixth. Fry hanging on to the 5th place spot. But Duranko's trying. He's seeing if he can't get anything done. A little contact that time.
Yeah, but he backed out of it and let Aiden gather it back up there. So that's, we got 1 to go here. So we'll see if he takes another shot at it before we get around to the checkered.
One thing I was lucky there was Breeze was not close enough to capitalize on that little bit of bobble and mistake. He was too far off.
Yeah, it looks like after that one they're going to just live to fight another day, it looks. But now, no, maybe not. He's on the outside. Aiden went down, but now Duranko's going to have a run to the outside.
Oh, it's a drag race to the line. Man, what a good finish there. But it's going to be Chapman, Young, Duranko, and Breeze going to finish that one off in our heat race number 2 here tonight. It should throw us over B main. Okay. Quick one. Chip Banger Racing. That's right. I mean, we're also out there talking about bang that chip, rip the lip. That's what they like to call it. Chip Banger Racing. Check those boys out. Fast on the track. Stephen Goldner out front. Kevin Fry there in second. Justin Sick in third. Bob DeGood in fourth. Jeffrey Barker starting in fifth. And Barry Goldner in sixth. Getting set here for our B main.
Yeah, I'm looking at this B main. We got guys in here that can win this thing tonight. So, but you know what? It's going to be to their advantage. All these guys are going to get extra track time, get a little bit more of that timing down, how to throttle up, everything else. So, you know, the part of me that's envious for being in here because you know you make it. And now you get just to test a little bit more and get it down.
For somebody who says they're not going to do very good in these cars, you're doing pretty good.
Like I said, a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and again.
Okay.
And I do think if I go back and watch the video, I won't be a bit surprised if I wasn't holding those guys back up and they were probably cutting me brakes, not running me over. So I've got to be aware of that. That's one of the things about a driver. You know, you've got to kind of at times be honest with yourself and inside the car to say, look, okay, tonight I've got it. I'm going to move forward. But on the nights, it's like, hey, you know what? I'm struggling a little bit. I just can't get this right. You know, I know the instinct is to fight everything, but sometimes, you know, you just got to sit back and go, okay, you know, I got to take what the car and the track's going to give me and just be happy with that, even if it's a fifth, sixth, whatever it might be. And that's a tough thing, too, to learn as a driver.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And by the way, I'd love to see a blind squirrel. I always like that saying, though, but I mean, I've never seen a blind squirrel. We'll see what these guys are going to do. Some of them going to try to just fight to get up there for a good starting position in the feature. Others are going to search around the track here and see see if they can maybe break that top side monotonous up here that we probably might see in the feature.
Yeah,
Kevin Fry out there blinking a little bit.
Yeah, he is. He was doing that in the heat race, too, but I think it cleared up after they went green. I don't know why it does that, but, you know, hey, welcome to technology.
Oh, yeah, I love it. Internet and everything else. Some things is out of your control. Green flag. You got Tick there. They're going to go 3 wide for the lead. Tick's going to try that low line, see if he can't instantly get to the front.
Yeah, and these three are going to be under a blanket, it looks like. Looks like they're going to race hard, so this is going to be pretty entertaining. Oh, we got one on its side over in turn 3, but...
Bob DeGood. Wow,
Kevin,
he did on his end.
Yeah, Kevin is continuing to blink quite a bit there.
So as the Goldner, that's where you got to be very careful. I say it a lot of times because what can happen, and actually we saw it last night with Beagle. Beagle was just running, the next thing you know, boom, here comes a car, appears out of nowhere, and it taps him, and it can happen. It's just one of those things online. You don't like being the recipient of it, but it can happen. It's just like you said, some things you can't control. But here's where Goldner's got to be careful because as close as he is, if Fry blinks out and he gets right there inside of his bumper like he is right now, he can blink back in. Next thing you know, it could be contact and send him out.
Yeah, and if you're in Goldner's shoes, it's frustrating as a driver because you don't know what to do. You don't want to get wrecked at the same time, but you got to get around him.
Oh,
and
yeah.
At some point, you
I think what he's doing right now is a good job. Stay down low, way low.
Yeah, and yeah, that's exactly what you need to do. And now,
and there's what he had to probably do. Slide up. He didn't know where Fry was. Unfortunately, when Fry and that's a perfect example of what I was talking about. When Fry blinked back, guess what? There's a car in front of you, and they made contact.
Yeah, and that's just that's tough all around for the guy blinking and the driver too. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, it takes it back again. We're on the online here, folks, and I know Fry's like, oh man, probably mad or whatnot, but hey, it's just part of technology. Some things you can't control, but still good racing out here. And Goldner was doing what he needed to do, try to stay out, put that slide job on, and fortunately it didn't work out like he wanted. But you got Barker now trying it. Looks like Justin Sick is trying to search around the track, maybe do some slider lines, try the middle groove, go up high, maybe see if we can get something to work.
Yeah, I mean, why not? This is time to do it here.
Yeah, and you got Barker sitting up there, and they've got a good run with Barry Goldner, who's back in the fourth place. So they got a lot of distance between them. Excuse me, there distance between them. Barker now. It look like Barker's searching around. Now he goes down low a little bit. I mean, he's out there kind of by himself too. I think now would be the time to, okay, let me see if I can, what do I got to do to maybe reel in Justin Sick?
Put rocket fuel in the car.
that too, yep.
But yeah, those
Hope
guys
he disconnects.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Justin passed me in the early practice like I was standing still, so I know he's quick.
Well, Justin comes out, and speaking of Justin's part, I know he's in the B main here tonight, but normally he's one of those top drivers. Obviously, a lot of guys are here, but, Justin comes in and week out, and to me, sometimes, and he's one of the ones who'll say, you know what, I overdrove the car for making a mistake or something. Sometimes I put myself in bad situations. We get the white flag here. It's going to be all Goldner coming in. Sometimes he puts himself in some bad situations, but fun to watch on the track as Goldner's going to bring it home here for the B main. 6 second, Barker third, Fry's going to pull home back up in fourth. That's a good B main here tonight for the Chip Banger Racing B main and the consolation. That'll pull us over here to a little warm up. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll get a word from some of our sponsors. We'll be right back here in a few.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today, we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Cool-Ray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
All right, welcome back here, folks. We're getting set here for our feature here tonight as guys in these big blocks are about to ground pound this place here. Well, let's grid them up. The man out front, Nicholas Vickery there, Mr. Homicide himself. With Zach Chapman starting in second, John Hine in third, Aiden Young up in the fourth, Ryan Beagle there in fifth, Alan Duranco sixth, Chris Steele in seventh, Peter Breeze in eighth, Stephen Goldner up in the ninth, Justin 6th, 10th, Jeffrey Barker in 11th, Kevin Fry 12th, Barry Goldner in 13th, Bob DeGood in 14th, folks. We're getting said here. Let's let these guys rumble tonight. There you go. Get to start here, and we're going to listen to some of the awesome sounds of these motors come to life here for our SBGC Thursday Night Thunder. Going to be a good one. Most of the big blocks here, so let's bring the Dylan Westbrook Racing, the Icon Sim Sports restart here. Start of this race, the pace cars pulling them around. I always get a kick out of it. Pace car on Thursday and a truck on Wednesday. Guess they like the car on Thursdays, folks. Who's your favorite drivers out there? Let me know. Where you listening from? Get those likes and shares as always. Get set, pace cars in. Let's bring this place, man, to the ground. Let's let it rumble. Speaking of rumbling, rumbling up front already as we got cars crashing and wrecking and all over the field. And I'll tell you what, said this the other night, I do not know how in the world that was not a caution, but let's go back on the Malcolm Mills replay and watch it again. I tell you, kicking it off with some ground pounding action. Boom! Justin Sick just went in. Folks, there's like 5 or so cars, and they are stopped on the middle of the road. No caution came out. Now we get a caution. But man, originally the caution didn't come out. John, I tell you what, that was crazy.
Yeah, that trouble started up front. I don't know what happened. I think it looked like Zach might have caught the wall on the start and just came down, and I nailed him and had to check up, and I'm sure it was an accordion effect. In fact, I'm going to pit here because I kind of feel like I might have gotten a bit of damage. So,
you know, and folks, just to reiterate right there what you saw the other night, if you saw the broadcast I was doing on a short track, it's crazy. I've said that iRacing maybe need to go back and tell their Barney flag guy to wake up or something and quit taking breaks, because I was seeing wild things that should have been a caution with cars sitting on the track, wasn't. And then next thing you know, a car just kind of instantly slide a little bit, almost just like what these dirt cars are doing, and it threw a caution. And I'm going, that right there was crazy, because we had cars everywhere, and it took so long before it finally threw the caution.
Yeah, and I you know, it's all about where the cars are sitting on the track too. They
were in the middle of the track.
That's something iRacing could, I think, could do a little better of a job of. Definitely is going around and rescanning where it will detect where cars are.
What I've noticed, John, you know, I'm sorry about that, but what I've noticed, and it has happened a lot here recently in the last month or so, more so, and I do multiple broadcasts, so I do obviously, you know, asphalt, dirts, and stuff like that, and I've seen it more here lately, and what you just alluded to right there, it could be something they might need to look into.
Yeah, there's no more helpless feeling when you're sitting backwards on a track, and you know there should be a caution. There's not, and you know the field's coming around again to bear down on you.
And you know, it's kind of going to be the leader's fault if another pileup happens. I mean, right there too, folks. You know, like you said. So here we go, green flag. We got Chapman, Victory, and Company out front in this one. It's behind him, Aiden Young. But you see Victory, man, he's trying to make it 2 for 2 here tonight. Young holding on to third. Here comes Beagle up in the 4th place spot. Uh-oh. The good upside down. And again. Let me go back. Well, the Malcolm Mills replay. Watch what happened to the good right here. He's down low. Oh, caught the wall. Came up into John Hine. And look at that. John's upside down on the middle of the track, folks. No caution. Wow. But maybe it's got something to do with this track. It might be what John just alluded to there. Wow.
Yeah, but that ended my night, so I'm done. So,
but you know, again, right there. So you're in as a perfect example. We're talking. Maybe it has to do with certain tracks.
Well, I exited out
something.
really, really fast because I knew I wasn't going to dump it over. I had one of my wheels sitting in the cockpit with me, so I knew there was no hope of me driving it back. So
the good was sitting on that wall there, and it's normally that brings it out. So I don't know. It might be some of the tracks, but either way, hey, Victory's loving it. He's out front, keeping it clean and green. As Chapman right now is looking strong, trying to run him down. But look at Beagle back here. He's on the high side on Aiden Young. Oh, Young caught the inside wall.
Yeah, remember, that's what I said too in that pre-race deal is you're trying to stay off that inside wall as much as you're trying to stay off the outside.
Yeah, he went to the inside and caught it. He was able to save it. And then he drove it into the next turn and came out, and it kind of bounced off the outside wall a little bit.
Yep, and when you do that, if you got somebody outside like we saw earlier, you destroy them. They're helpless. So, you know.
Wild race so far, folks. I tell you, frustrating for some drivers, but again, it's all Vic out front. Now I'm watching this Stephen Goldner right here. He is actually trying to work over, I believe it's Chris Steele. Steele got a little bit tight coming up the track. Goldner had to get on the binder. That's a good race so far. From Ontario, that's where Stephen Goldner's from. He's Canadian. I can't say the first one.
Through the pack. Remember, he was in the B feature, so he's moving. He's dicing through this pack, slicing and dicing through this pack. So if he gets a couple more cautions to fall his way, he's going to have victory right in his sights. So hopefully, maybe we get one more where we can see that.
Guy Goldner is trying to work over Steele right now, and like you just said, meanwhile, Victory is just killing it up front in the homicide machine. But Chapman right there behind him, along with Beagle. It's the same picture we just saw here in the 358s. I think it was Chapman and Victory out front. What do you think?
Yeah, it does look like a carbon copy.
Got a replay, folks, playing for you.
Why are we wasting our time here? We could have just moved right to the late models.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, replay playing for you out there, folks. I mean, I'm going to tell you what. I mean, can Victory pull off the trifecta here tonight? Right now, he's trying to put on the doubleheader here for us as he's out front with Chapman there in second, Beagle hanging on the third. Steele right now, though, has his hands full with Goldner, who is still trying that inside lane.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the funny thing is about, we kid about the replay of the top three, but, you know, it's funny. Some car track combinations just agree with some drivers better than others. I mean, I go to tracks, I can't wait till we get going. And then there's other tracks like tonight, and evidently for good reason. When I saw it pop up, I just, the whole week, I was like, yeah, if I can get through Wednesday or Thursday in one piece. So, but right now you have to think that this car track combination for the front three, they're loving it.
Absolutely. Best battle on the tracks here between Chris Steele and Goldner. I mean, Goldner's trying that inside line to see for everything he's got to try to get that slide job move on Steele, but Steele is protecting that high lane and is able to hold him off so far right now.
Yeah, Chris is one of the hardest guys in this league to pass, in my opinion. He doesn't do anything dirty or anything like that, but he doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. And he doesn't give you a lot of room to operate. And it's not that he should be, you know, like moving over and moving, you know, that's not what I'm saying. But he gives you just enough room to operate, but he's got to take the line he wants. So he is, and he does a really good job of it. So, yeah, he's one of the hardest guys to pass, I think.
Well, right now, Goldner got a good push on the inside. He might be, oh, no, he caught the inside wall, and there's what you talked about. There was a car on the outside. Unfortunately, it was Steele on the outside. He caught the inside, and that pulls a caution for us. We saw that live, but yeah, Goldner bumps the inside, comes straight back up the track. Steele's there, and unfortunately, around he goes.
Yeah, now here's going to be the big question, because iRacing did an update, and they took away the meatball flag to say, hey, you got damage, you should come in there. Steven Goldner hit the inside wall there a ton. Now the question is, without knowing you have damage or not, when we restart, you're going to have all that momentum going down to turn 1 in that slick. If he damaged that car, one of those wheels, especially the one he hit that wall with, that car is not going to turn. And that's going to be a big problem for him. So that'll be something to watch here on this restart.
I can't really see it from my angle. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I don't see any damage, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this from experience, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
Oh, true.
I've had teammates go, no, everything's straight, and I go down the corner and it went straight into the wall.
The toe could be out. Anything could be out on that thing. You just never know, like you said. And again, you bring that up. We are on the virtual world, so sometimes it could be damaged there, and in the virtual world it looks clean. But again, like you said, the damage could be there.
Yeah.
But he did hit it hard. He hit it hard.
Oh, yeah, he got airborne when he hit it. So, we hope Steve's okay in the car. I mean, that's one of those that'll ring your bell for sure. But especially if you got a hard grip on the wheel, and I don't know how much force feedback that Steve does in his wheel, but I run a lot of mine, and I got a direct drive wheel. If I hit like that, that wheel will jerk out of your hands, and it can hurt your wrists and stuff. So be interested to see if how he approaches this restart here as I get double filed.
Drive it like I heard off-road guys drive, and actually I drive in real life like this. I always keep my thumb on the steering wheel. I never grip around the steering wheel. The reason being is because what it said, a lot of off-road guys say that if that wheel jerks, actually break your thumb with the inside prongs. So a lot of those guys actually lay their thumb on the wheel itself. So hey, it's a good driving tip about that, folks, for you. Here we go, green flag, and boy, Victory gets that good jump. But hey, look out! Here comes Goldner, Chapman, and Beagle.
Everything looks okay for Goldner, so it's game on for him.
Oh, bounced off the wall. Beagle's around. Oh, Beagle. Wow. And that car's jacked up now. They definitely know we got damage there. But let's go back on the Malcolm Mills replay, kind of watch it again. We saw it live up there, but looks like one of the cars, it might have been Goldner or somebody, I'm not 100% sure, it bounced off the wall. And Beagle was just there. He was on the inside. This guy was racing hard. We've seen it all night long, guys just bouncing off the wall, but it might have been Chapman.
Yeah, it was Zach Chapman there. He almost caught that crossover gate and got himself out of shape.
Yep.
And then just clipped Ryan, and it was on from that point. But,
yeah, it was. Whew.
But now, look who's in third.
Goldner.
I tell you, hard charger, both him. Well, you know what? Look who's in third, and then look who's in fifth. Both those cats have come up a long way, so we don't want to dismiss Justin here.
Justin sick, yeah.
So let's see how this rolls for them. They're getting down to it. They got about 12 more laps. Well, Justin, I don't know where Justin's going. He might be going up there to look at Nick's car for him, or having Nick look at his car to see if he's got any damage.
Nick's going to be like, yeah, it's fine, Justin.
Yeah, that's a nice thing about having teammates around you or whatever. You can pull up next to them if you're worried about what your car's doing. You can say, hey, is my front tire turning or is anything? So you can do your best to look and see for the guy. So sometimes when you see somebody do that, pull up next to somebody that's a teammate, that might be what's going on.
Here you go. Justin probably going to be like, Vic, your tire's flat.
Yeah, except for Nicholas hasn't hit anything yet, so his car's straight. It's Justin.
I know you're going to try to fake him out. Maybe you hit a rock on the speedway or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
make him worry about it a little bit.
You're low on fuel. You need to pit now.
Yeah, there you go.
It's all fixed and the fuel's in there, but here we go.
Now Vic did do that last night. Ran out of fuel.
Really?
So yeah, he was in the thing with me last night, and the race that he had to get out of, or he quit on, he ran it out of fuel. That's it. I didn't put enough fuel in it, so it don't matter. I ain't gonna finish anyway. So that's what happened to him last night. So there you go. It could happen in one of these races. So folks out there, keep that in mind. But Nicholas out front, Chapman there in second. We got Goldner in third. Everybody's kind of single file right now, trying to hunt around. You got to go back here to Justin Sick. Working over the back end of Aiden Young.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 under a blanket again. Now they're gonna have to start sizing each other up. But they got 10 laps to go here to try to make that work.
Yeah, and again, we go back to now different car, a little bit more power. But what do you do in this situation if, let's say, you're around Goldner's area?
Put all the pressure you can on Zach, get him to mess up, and look for an opening. I mean, that's what you got to do. Zach's kind of running the preferred line here, so you play peekaboo in the mirror if he's using it. Right there, see Zach overdrove it, had to blow it up. So you just push him, and try to push him into a mistake.
Biggest question on the dirt side of things, you see him move up to the back end. Now on the asphalt, you could ride this whole entire track on the back bumper of somebody glued to it. On dirt side, how dangerous would that be to try to stay hooked up on the back bumper of him through this whole entire track? I would think it'd be kind of bad.
They'd wreck.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I mean, at one point you're going to have to look to the inside.
I don't even think the bumpers don't even line up. So that front bumper on that mod will go below the back bumper of it, and you just lift the guy up and wreck him.
I got you. Okay. And the reason is you brought that up is try to make him make a mistake. That's the number one thing they do on the asphalt side to make a guy make a mistake. Ride the back bumper of him and hope he makes a mistake, maybe mirror driving and whatnot. Now, in real life, a lot of these in dirt cars don't have rear view mirrors, which to me, I don't understand. Which to me, I can get that because it's racing. I don't need a rear view mirror anyway.
No, and the funny thing is on dirt, you shouldn't be using it anyway because it's not accurate. You know, you go into the corner, you can't really get a gauge of where somebody is in the corner and everything else. I would like to see iRacing give people that when you set up a server, you can turn them on or off. That would be great.
Got Peter Breeze. Look at the Malcolm Mills replay. This Peter Breeze, I don't know what.
They call that a caution and not the other. I don't know.
Yeah, let me see it again here. Let's watch it one more time really fast here. One more time on the Malcolm Mills. See Peter out there. He's by himself right now. And still running by himself. Just my going back. I usually go back about 20 seconds or so, so I can catch everything. So I had to adjust that a little bit, folks. Go back so far. Still riding out there by himself. Gotta hit a wall or something. Oh. No, the caution's already out. What did the caution fly on?
I have no idea. I didn't see what it was.
I didn't either, son. I mean, it says on my thing here, it says Peter Breeze Kevin Fry crash, but I don't see him crashing, so. Huh.
It's one of those NASCAR Phantom cautions.
It is. Yep. What it was. We'll blame it on that. But I'll go back to kind of what we was talking about there before the caution flew was, yeah, that's one of the main differences, like I say, between the dirt and the asphalt side of how you can get a guy off his game. It is definitely different driving between the two because you can get up there and ride close to almost to the bumper of a guy lap after lap after lap, and hopefully he just makes a mistake and hits his marks wrong on the asphalt. Here, though, again, I go back to I wouldn't advise it. Now, you do see some guys get up there down the straightaway, might be right there on the bumper, but as soon as they get in those turns, you're already sideways.
Yeah.
To me, if you stayed on his back bumper hooked up like that, as soon as he went sideways, you're going to probably clip him and turn him easily. And nothing that you do on purpose, but it's just fast racing.
Yeah, you can't ride somebody's bumper here, not even down the straightaways, because it still picks the back end of the car up and then it'll spin it out. So, but you can do little things, try to get guys to overdrive, that kind of stuff going into the corner. But man, we got a battle here up front.
We do. I see Chapman is trying to move in on the back end of Vic to see if he can't make him make a mistake, because all night long, man, Mr. Homicide out front has just been killing it here at Williams Grove. I got to say, he's loving this track right now. He's liking the high side part, but Chapman's trying.
Yeah, and I just don't know that there's anywhere for Zach to go. And let's just be honest here, Nick hasn't set a tire wrong all night. So, yeah, he's going to have to pull something from up his sleeve to get around him.
He is right there. So if Vic does make a little slip, Chapman will be able to get right up under him. They've gotten a little bit away from Goldner, but Goldner's still there too. Aiden's trying to move up into the mix here. Look at Justin Sick in the backside. He's going to try to see if he can't close it in. He goes down low on Aiden.
Yeah, I took a swipe at him here. He's only got a lap or two to do it. Hopefully that didn't, for his sake, didn't cost him too much to try it again, because he fell back from Aiden as soon as it didn't work out for him.
I think the battle's going to be for second. Yep.
Yeah.
White flag one more time. Won't matter what happened here, but Goldner, he's going to try to sling it in there. Good slide job, but not. Oh, boy. Probably the spotter might have said clear, but he wasn't clear. Little contact. Good heads up by Chapman. That could have been worse. But out of 3 and 4 final time, it's going to be Vickery, Chapman, or excuse me, Goldner. Chapman's going to hang on to third. What a finish to this one.
Yeah, nice move at the end there on Steven. He put that slide job and get second there.
Yeah, and it's about the only move he probably could do. I know it's frustrating as a driver on the side of, Chapman's end to see that, but when it's kind of mostly top groove dominant, you got to do something. He was able to make it work down low. Can't get some of these guys up here and get a word with them real quick. Gonna look for Chapman. All right. Well, let's bring up third place man, Zach. Let's get a word with him.
Zach Chapman, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, yeah, what's going on, John? I'm sorry about the start of that race there.
Man, it happens. Don't sweat it. Still brought it home in a nice third place finish, a second podium for the night. Walk me through that race there, boy. You and Goldner had quite a battle there for a second, third there in the closing laps.
Yeah, to be truthful, I don't know if he'll say it, but I think Goldner was the quickest car out there, because at the end I was catching Nick, but Steven was faster than me. So whenever I messed up, I knew that slider was coming at the end. So, he kind of parked it in front of me, but I could have lifted and tried to go under him. I just wanted to keep momentum and stay on the high side, but it's a good race. It was a lot of fun there.
Yeah, you did a nice job keeping it up there. And, hey, 2 podiums, 1 night. That's maybe you can get a third one here next in the late models. Anybody you want to give a shout-out to?
Shout out to, you guys doing this here. And then, like always, Bright Box Electrical, Cool Ray Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. And I forgot to thank Nick Vickery for the sweet wrap, VMR Sprint wraps as well.
Oh, hey, once again, great job again. 2 podiums, 2 races. That's Zach Chapman.
Absolutely. Like you say, what a night here he's having. Well, this guy, Steven Goldner, came up here and probably put the move of the night on in a hard charge. Came home in second.
Steven Goldner, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, John.
Man, that was a sweet move there at the end to grab second there. Walk me through, you guys had a pretty good battle there for a couple laps. Kind of walk me through and how you set that up and made that work.
Yeah, just trying to be patient and have fun in these cars. You got to drive them off the corner really straight, so I could kind of cut down and get a good straight launch off the bottom on exit of 2 and 4, and I'd have a good run. It's just tough to be able to do anything with it, and Chapman made a little mistake there in 3 and 4, and I was able to cut down and have a decent run enough to throw a slider. It wasn't really the cleanest slider, but it was enough to get the second place, I guess. Yeah,
it looked like it did the job, that's for sure. And Man, I tell you what, a great run from the back too, though, because you had to go through the B to get there, and a great night all in all for you here to come all the way up to second. I like to see what you had for Nick there, but anybody you want to give a shout out to here for your second place finish?
Yeah, I gotta thank all the Vanderbilt guys and all our sponsors and everyone that does, stuff for the team. You, Joe, and John for the broadcast, and Roger and everyone who puts the deal on. I gotta say sorry to Chris Steele there too. I tried to do another slider on him earlier in the race, and I got the inside wall and probably ruined his night, but not really intentional, just kind of the way it happens.
Yeah, I forgot to ask you about that. Boy, you wall up that wall. If you get a chance to go back and look at that replay, man, you got some serious air out of that. Did that change your handling at all?
Yeah, it told me I had wheel damage there, but I just kept going the rest of the race. I wasn't going to pull in with, half the race left and running inside the top, 7 or whatever it was. So I just kind of held on and did what I could with the car.
Yeah, that was a nice recovery all around tonight. Once again, that is Stephen Goldner, second place tonight.
Absolutely. Like I say, hard charging man tonight. Stephen Goldner, that slide job move to get in second. But this guy here, though, if he can be stopped. Nick, Joe White in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are y'all?
Well, tonight you put the double header here on us here and was able to put in victory lanes, kind of a replay of the first race. How was that car and how did it feel?
Yeah, it felt good. You definitely had to be a lot more temperamental, and the line definitely changed from what I was running with the 358. The 358, you could really, when you were diamond in the corner, you could really pull it to the bottom coming off the corner. But with these cars, you couldn't really do that. And I think a lot of it had to do with how much slick you had to cross to get back to the bottom. So there at the end, I started running kind of entering high and then exiting kind of in the middle right above the slick. And I was obviously I had Justin in my ear kind of helping me out with where Chapman was, and I was honestly getting a little nervous, because after that long green flag run, I put like a second and a half on him, and then there on that last restart, he was right there on me, so there was no room for mistakes.
Oh, absolutely. So, well, like I say, we call you Mr. Homicide. You killing it tonight, though, in the competition out there. Put in the victory lane again. You got anybody want to thank for the awesome win here in these big blocks?
Yes, sir. So you're going to start off the same with, Jeffrey Kemper. Just let him know, hey, we're thinking about him and glad that his son come out of surgery okay. Spartan Racing, it's a good group of guys. I think actually Kyle Parker's going to join us for the Pro Late, so be an unfamiliar face this season. He'll be in there with us, but after that would be VMR Wraps. If anyone out there needs a wrap, come check us out on Facebook at VMR eWraps. SBGC 3D Printing. If anybody out there has any 3D printing needs, definitely go check him out on Facebook. Miriam Auto Spa, my wife for letting me do this, and then of course you guys for putting on a great show.
Well, I tell you what, there you go. Nicholas Vickery out front here tonight, winning it the second time here. Well, folks, don't go anywhere because you heard it. We got Pro Late models coming up. We'll be right back.
Coolray has always been a leader in our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
All right, folks, welcome back tonight here for SBGC Thursday Night Thunder here tonight for the Coolray's Coast to Coast Racing League. Well, now we got the Pro Late models out here. We've seen the 358 small blocks. We've seen some big blocks. Now we got Pro Lates as we're here with SBGC3D.com pre-race here tonight. If you've not checked out SBGC3D, check out the printing needs there of Tom Taylor and company. It will definitely get you set up and right. Check out SBGC3D.com. Practice is underway. John, I mean, it was interesting to watch those big blocks out there. Now, what's the major difference between those cars and this car?
This car doesn't want to turn at all on corner entry, so it's going to be a little more finesse. The throttle control is not quite as important, but you still really do need to get it to have it here to get them off the corners. And the same trouble spots are going to be, when we do the track preview here in a second. It's these corner entries. It's funny. Corner entry, you can get yourself in trouble. Corner exit, you can lose your speed. So, you've constantly got to. We got a couple of straightaways between those two points of interest there on the track, but yeah, you get in, you can get into trouble, get in, and you can kill your lap coming out. So looks like we're getting ready to roll over here into qualifying. So I'll go out on the track and show you.
Absolutely. That brings us up in our qualifying here at Pit Stop Podcast qualifying session, folks. And if you're not checked out the Pit Stop Podcast, check them out here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network on YouTube, because we're live here tonight on it. And also live over on the OSR Network on Facebook. But that's Preston Cranmer and Roger Craig. Every Sunday, they do that Pit Stop Podcast and bring you information from the league and have a lot of great special guests on there. But what John said, he's going to come out here on the track and give us a little heads up on maybe some of the trouble spots or what these guys are going to have to adjust on between this car and the last one.
Yeah, I mean, the first trouble spot I'm going to lead you to, we saw it kind of play out here a little bit in the last race. You can hang the back end of these cars out on the straight or wherever, but you see this wall? This has a habit of grabbing guys, halfway down the straightaway. So be watching for that, and they can shoot them down the track, just like that inside wall can shoot guys up the track. But once again, you're going to have a full head of steam when we get here, and you got two trains of thoughts. You can drive it in deep, run a slider line. You can back the corner way up, and try to hook this bottom. And remember, if you're hooking this bottom, you have that wall that comes out, and then as you're coming out of the corner, you've got to maintain it and to hit this tack to come out. But here's the thing, I guess, I don't know if this visual will come across here, but if you're driving it in deep, or if you're wanting to run that bottom, you're lifting probably about this point in the straightaway. So if you get an idea of that. So if you want to run a slider line, you might be able to drive it in this deep. It doesn't seem like a whole lot, but that split second, if you're behind somebody and somebody lifts early and you're not expecting them to, let's say they ran a slider line the lap before, so that's what you think they're going to run, all of a sudden they stop early to stay on the bottom, you can get in trouble there real quick. And that's a racing deal. It's not necessarily anybody's fault that anybody ran them over. You tend to get around guys, if they do the same thing lap after lap, you start to maybe count on them doing it, and if they suddenly change, which has their right to do, it can catch you out. The other thing is, too, with this one, I do expect to see this top groove here come in again and work like it did. The question's going to be, how high will it go, and will it be quicker than the bottom? But again, you lift early a little bit, to roll it in here and get right out. And man, by this point in time, you're back in the throttle trying to get that car to hook around the outside. And then you want that run down the straightaway. And when you do that, you got to be careful, because here comes that wall, there goes that wall. That'll get you into trouble. And, the same thing down here, you want to lift. And this one is a little harder to run. But, being up here, the one thing we saw in that one race, and Nick alluded to it in his interview, is turning down the track. That big block didn't like to do that. These cars, I think you're going to be able to turn down the track to try to use that momentum, like what we saw on the 358s.
Absolutely. That's going to pull us over here into our heat race number 1, Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints. And if you've not seen it, they got 37 years of 360 wing sprint action out there on EmpireSuperSprints.com, and on Facebook and Twitter. Give them a like and a share. As always, got Aiden Young out front, Kurt Shatner there in second, Kyle Parker starting at third, Brandon Templeton fourth, Ryan Dickens up into the 5th place spot. So only one guy going to miss the feature on this one.
No, I think everybody will make it. We've only got
well,
two,
everybody make
4,
it, but
6,
I mean, like, straight to the feature.
Qualify. Yep.
If, though, again, we have seen this, if they do it constantly.
I actually set this server up. I'm pretty confident we'll have it.
Oh, okay.
I'm a little. I did something a little different, so we didn't have 9 car heats. Try to get that 3 heat. And, I'm going to have to adjust on this a little bit, because 4 and 5 car heats. But we might actually get a bigger car count. I think the car count down a little bit this week, because it being Williams Grove and a late model, this really is not a good car track combo. They're really difficult to drive. So difficult tracks, the guys that might not have experience tend to try to want to avoid them, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Kind of a brutal track, huh?
Yeah, it really is. And then the guys that have a lot of laps and late models will probably, you'll see them probably rise to the top here on this, because it is a different beast.
We always talk about that old saying, cream rises to the top, so we'll see what happens. And good heat race here for heat race number 1, Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints out here, folks. Hope you're enjoying everything. Those likes and shares as always. So, from a driver standpoint, what do you do different? I mean, you just came from a big block. It's not quite as fast. I mean, the power-wise should be about the same, but it's not quite as nimble and as fast. So is that Highline going to be dominant in this one?
Yeah, I think these cars may actually end up being a little quicker than the big block. Maybe not. It'll be close on time, but I think it might. The suspensions in these are vastly different, so that'll make a difference in the corner. These things actually corner better. They may not have the power down the straightaway that the big blocks, but they corner a little better. The only thing is the big block does turn in a little better than these cars with iRacing sets the way they have them. They're just they're a pain in the butt to get into the corner and get them to turn.
A lot of guys I've heard said they changed the lights. Getting set here to go green flag racing our heat race 1. Young, Shatner, Templeton and company out front. Green flag. They're heading off into turn 1 side by side.
Yeah, and all that momentum down there. Aiden had that very problem trying to get that car to turn, and it just killed him there, and it cost him big time. He went from the front to the back, just like that.
Looked like that car just stopped down there on the bottom.
He had to stop it. If he didn't stop it right there, he would have washed up that track and took half those cars out. So that was a heads-up move by Aiden not to wreck everybody.
Templeton right now, he was able to try to make the slide job work on the bottom. He's moving pretty good. Still Shatner up top, losing a little ground. Now the battle's on for third and fourth. I'll tell you what, Dickens almost slid up into the inside there. That's one thing you can do about these cars. You can get a little side-by-side rubbing on them.
Yeah, you can. And you got 3 teammates right up here, and they're kind of going at it here. So good night for that team, the way they've got things started out here. But Brandon Templeton, though, I said it last one. He's really, really improved this season, and he's got a commanding lead here, Heat 1. If he can hold on, it's got to put him on the pole for the feature. Tonight might be the night he breaks through and gets in the victory lane.
Parker hanging on to that 4th place spot right now, trying to see if he can't move on the outside. A little contact between him and Dickens. Dickens moving up on the back of Shatner, but meanwhile, like you say, Templeton is just checking out.
Yeah, and the thing with 4th there, if you're sitting in 4th, you're looking at 2nd and 3rd right now, and they're side by side, so even if you're a little quicker, you've got nowhere to go.
Nope.
So you're back there just, and everybody's been in rush hour traffic. Come on, one lane go, you move over to that lane, then it doesn't go. Right now, that's what's happening, just doing everything. I've been there, and like I said, we've all been there, and you get behind one then the other. That's what Kyle's experiencing right now, but now he's got his nose in there to see if he can root him up and get into 3rd.
Well, you see Dickens was able to make that pass on the bottom side there over Schatzer. Schatzer still sitting in 3rd. Kyle looks like he's searching the track, up top, down low, seeing if he can't get anything going there in the 4th place spot.
Yeah, and it's a pretty fine line right now where the fast line is, and if you hit that line, it's tough to find speed enough to get around to get around them.
1 lap to go here in Heat Race 1. Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints, and Templeton, he's got a good set lead of a 1.3 seconds over Dickens. He's going to come out of 3 and 4 here. Parker going to have enough. He looks like he's going to stay right there in the 4th place spots. It's going to be Templeton, Dickens, Schatzer, and Parker all in this one. That'll bring us over here to Heat Race number 2, Super Dirt Car Series. A premier dirt track, premier big block series there. Super Dirt cars. If you've not checked them out, they're from Florida to Canada, Northeast style dirt track here with the big blocks, ground pounding style action. Check out the Super Dirt Car Series. You got John Hine out front, Bob DeGood there in 2nd, Justin 2nd, 3rd, Steven Spees up in 4th, Peter Breeze there in 5th place spot. So, like you get the EOL, and I was about to say he's going to be out front in this one, John.
Yeah, I don't know how I got the pole in the lap I turned. Was a 52-second lap, so smaller field, I guess. But yeah, that's a tough one. You're on the pole, and
what's your strategy here since you're in the back?
Well, see what these guys do, get some laps, and I'm almost tempted to. I won't be heartbroken to get into B. I'd like to get some more laps in here and whatnot, because I never really got fully comfortable in the feature, so or in the in practice. So we're gonna see, and hopefully, I guess my biggest strategy is not to wreck anybody. I don't want to overdrive it and screw up somebody else's race and get another EOL next week on a track maybe that I like.
All right, here we go. That's it. Guys gonna line them up here. Be interesting to see what John does back there in the back. Like I say, just kind of has to pick and choose his way through the front. And we got the pace truck back.
I did that for you, by the way.
Oh, okay, I got you. I was gonna kick out a car on Thursdays. It's like a car on dirt. Here we go, truck in. Justin Sick up front. I know he's gonna love it. Green flag, we're racing here. He race number 2 here tonight. You see Sick, he gets a good jump. Battles on back here in the back though. Breeze and Speeds. That's a mouthful if you say it really fast. Breeze, Speeds. Here comes Hind though, he's on the inside. See if he's able to make that bottom work. Not right now. Still gonna fall back in line behind Breeze. And see if we can get back up there and try it again. Now he dives it back down on the inside one more time. And Steven Spees is taking off. Remember, they're teammates of Spees and Hines, so maybe he's getting some good insights from Spees right now on the track. As you see, Hines able to make that slide job move work on Peter Breeze there and takes over the 3rd place spot. Meanwhile, Justin Sick out front. Looking at Steven Spees run him down. I don't know, he's got enough time to do it. Just got to be a little bit patient. Right now, they're running about the same line, about the middle lane. Coming in, diamonding off that turn, going in, letting it glide up the track a little bit so you don't lose any of that momentum. Hind back there in the back, Breeze is not done with him. See, those two guys are still going at it. Breeze, he's on his back bumper right now. Peter Breeze definitely keep it in check with old John for that 4th and 5th place spot. He is right there on his back end, and the good back here trying to see what he can muster up for the feature here tonight. As a Justin Sick out front, trying to work on his entries and exits. Right now he's keeping to that middle groove, and it's working pretty good. Would actually be 1 and 2, he went in the middle. 3 and 4, looks like he's doing more of a slider line to it as he goes down on the inside, lets it drift a little up the track. Kind of 2 different lines that he's running. Yeah, 1 and 2, he's going straight to the middle, up to the cushion. Then to come out of the turn a little bit lower, down the back stretch. Cocks it right in. Boy, he drove it in and inside that time. That's a drift off the turn of 4. Down that front stretch. White flag one more time for him. That Speed's still trying to do everything he can to run him down. Hind there in the 3rd place spot. Breeze up in 4th. So it's going to be Justin one more time. 3 and 4. Going to bring it home. He race number 2. Got Speeds, Hind, and Breeze. And the good's going to come home in 5th in this one. Good heat race out there. See what we got. And up next here. Heat race number 3. That's right. Got a new one out here. World of Sports podcast. Come out, relax, laugh. Have yourself a good time, Mike and Rod. They go through the crazy, exciting, wonderful world of sports. They got a lot of guests in and out of their show. So definitely check them out online at the World of Sports podcast and listen in every week. So Joe Halter's going to start in this one. Zach Chapman's going to come up in 2nd. Ty Showblock in 4th. And Nicholas Victory there in the, Ty Showblock in 3rd. Victory is going to be in the 4th place spot.
Yeah, and Joe might be just strictly admitting.
Okay.
Because normally I'm the admin, but I'm up here hanging out with you. So, so Joe's probably handling the admin duties. I'll be surprised here. So that's going to mean 3 guys here for this heat. So we'll see how that goes.
Chapman just posted out there, can you UL me in the heat? I wasn't supposed to qualify. Oh, if you're listening, Joe.
He was given. Yep, he was given a Hideo. All I see it.
Okay, he's out there crying. So Zach Chapman is crying, folks. I don't know why, but he's crying. There he goes. He's going to the back. Got the message for you, Zach. Well, this ought to be interesting. You've got 3 fast guys out here, and they've got a track by themselves to kind of do whatever they want. In a race that really...
They all go to the A. So,
yeah, they all go to the A, so it's okay, fair game here. These are fast guys. My money's on the homicide, though.
Yeah, that's... I wouldn't take that bet. I mean,
you know, just because he got a homicide on his car, I guess. I mean, anybody that's going to run around the track with homicide on his car.
Here in this league, if you intentionally wreck somebody, they put you on a 3-week vacation, but there is no rule about going over to somebody's house and cutting their power, and that's about what we're getting with Nick here. He's just dominating everything.
True. I think we'll see any intentional wrecking. We might see. I'd like to see some aggressive racing here with these 3 guys. That's maybe that's what I would say. Maybe take a few more chances that you normally wouldn't take, since this race is kind of a freebie, so to speak.
Yeah, but you know, you got guys on differing agendas here. Nick, once again, he's running for points. So, you know, if you get incident points, that can take points off. So he wants to stay clean. And you know, Ty is, you know, first night out, so he's gonna go for broke.
And he does. He gets a good jump there on Victory. So let's see what Victory can do now. We've not seen too much of him in traffic all night long. He's out front just dominating. So let's see what kind of pass he can throw in. Oh, he caught that inside wall almost just a little bit.
Yeah,
he caught that tire very slightly.
It's a good job not to really get himself in a lot of trouble there, because usually when you do that, you wreck.
Yeah, I know. I think he had enough momentum to maybe drive right through it. Meanwhile, he's been able to stay there, and he's going to drive right up underneath show block and take that spot away. I mean, can Vic be stopped tonight? We're going to have to see later on in the feature. And you see Chapman back there in the back just trying to search around, see what he can do to get up front here.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, short of somebody cutting and going over, like I said, and cutting the power to that man's house, he's going to be tough to beat tonight.
Mr. Homicide out there, old Nicholas Victory, he's got Williams Grove figured out here tonight. And like you said, going to be a tough, tall order. Not to say that nobody on the track can't get it done. We'll just have to see. Now you see Showblock going down to that low line trying something.
Yeah, and you know, this is the time to do it. I mean, you know, there's all reward here. You know you're making it in, so might as well see what you can do. And if you may mess up here, you're talking one spot, you know, here in the heat. I don't think it's going to make that big of a deal on the grid.
Oh, but you got Chapman. Oh, there he made him a slip up, and Chapman's going to go around him.
Yeah, that car just got that push I was telling you about. It just does not turn well here on this flat track. This is just a really, really tough track for these cars.
Well, Ty, right now, saw it right there is kind of interesting, and you see this a lot. I know y'all diming it off in the turn, but it is kind of... Always wanted to ask, you see it again right there, because we're riding on the hood here with Ty. Every time he goes into the turn, it's almost a split second. He yanks that car to the right, then the left, to kind of just throw it into the turn. It's not a wonder that thing, when he does to the right, it doesn't just keep shooting to the right.
Well, what he's doing is you yank the car down, and then you come back, and what he's trying to do is break the car loose so he can get into that slide to hook the corner. Because if your back end doesn't come around, you know, a corner, the first part of the corner, that nose is going to go straight to the wall. That car is just not going to turn. So what he's doing, that's what you see more of that, and it's more extreme the tighter your car is. You're just trying to break it loose, because these cars don't have the power the super lates do, just to use your throttle to get them loose.
And you know, that's a good explanation on why they're doing that. As that came to an end quick. Didn't even see the checkered. My bad, folks. Sorry about that. And it says another consolation.
Yeah, this is gonna be a grudge match. This is just Aiden and Bob here, and
okay.
This will be cool to see. You know, I remember way back when I was younger, a track that we raced at. They had grudge match nights, so you could go pick somebody and race them.
Or C-main?
Yep. This better be B. Yeah, it's just the B.
Okay. Well, what was the last consolation? Oh, that was a heat race. Yep. Sorry about that, folks. We were talking, and I didn't even notice there was a white flag.
Yeah, and like I said, I did tweak the server a little bit to lower the car counts and the heats, and that's why we've got one each, because they did the lower car counts. But I didn't realize we're going to have a much lower car count overall, and that's what happens here. And I know,
Do that math, that Common Core math again.
Yep, and that's what it boils down to. And this is a track, I can tell you, a lot of drivers that run late models, they don't run here. They just don't. So
go back to real quick what we was talking about there before. You was talking about how they go into that turn, and just for people out there that don't know, because a lot of people would think, well, it's dirt racing. These things go in, they're already sideways, you're on the dirt, you're instantly just going to kick it out sideways. So that was a good explanation on why they're having to actually help the car, because on asphalt, yes, you would definitely have to try to spin that car out or send it into a slide or drift or whatnot by doing what they're doing. But instantly on dirt, people think, well, it's dirt. You don't have traction, so you're going in there wide open. It's instantly going to kick that rear end out. But like what you said, not always. Sometimes it needs a little help. So for people that didn't know that, that's a good explanation.
Yeah, and the reason why that's difficult here is these guys come to take the green is you're going down that straightaway at such a high rate of speed, which means there's a lot of air on the front nose, pushing the nose down into the track. So when you get down into that corner, all that force on your nose makes the car not want to turn. You want that force to be on that back end where you can dig the back end, but that's why this track is so difficult, is that speed at the end of the straightaways with that big wedge nose that you see on these cars. It just creates so much downforce. You just got to woe it up, and then once you woe it up, once you get off the thing, they got what we refer to as getting off the bars. That means getting off the suspension. You slow it down enough to where the suspension can't do its job. So now you have to break the car loose. So we're doing all this stuff in a matter of about 100 feet going in the corner and not trying to wreck. So, while it looks like, they're just slinging it into the corner, there's a lot going on from about where pit entrance is to the entrance of the corner, on both ends here, to get those cars to turn. You've got to do a lot of things with your feet, your mind, and your hands. It's all got to be in sync. And that, I can tell you, that it is hard. It really, really is hard.
Got a good shot of what Aiden's doing up there, too, and what we're talking about, folks, as you can see. It looks about, I guess in real life would be probably about 50 to 100 feet before he gets to the entrance of the turn. He instantly is going straight to the right, like he's almost going to go right, straight to the turn, maybe for, I don't know, a couple feet or whatnot, and then sling the car hard to the left to make it do it. So it's almost like he's going straight down the straightaway, and then kind of turns it right a little bit like he's going to drive it into the wall, but then instantly yank it to the left. So it's a good shot right there to show it.
Yeah, and like I said, the drivers are really busy. And now these guys are, on the track just with themselves right now. But now imagine turn one, lap one, when we've got everybody out there and you got guys in front of you, guys next to you, guys behind you, and you're trying to do all that. So, that's a testament to the guys out here. If we get through turn one and through tier two, there's a lot that goes on to make that happen, and guys all have to do their job, and it's not easy.
Absolutely. And right when Bob DeGood here, and you can see kind of a little bit of the difference. He's not slinging it in right as hard as what, now he drove at that time in a little bit, but he's not slinging it quite as hard to the right as what Aiden is doing. And that's just kind of the difference in driving styles of guys on dirt. We see it a lot. Some guys don't feel very comfortable hanging that rear end way out there.
Yeah, and unfortunately here you got to put it out to get to, just because of how hard it is to turn. But usually when you do hang that rear end out like what you have to enter the corner here, you're losing all your speed. Any other track, that would send you to the back pretty quick if you hang that back out. But with no banking and high speeds, you got to get her around the corner.
Oh yeah, I mean, and you got to do everything you can. Like I said, a little bit of physics involved here. The white flag flies one more time for Aiden here. And our B-Main here tonight, Chip Banger Racing B-Main, that is. He's going to bring it around one more time.
Yeah, and when you sling it in that hard is what you have to do here. And that's where a lot of guys with a little less experience are going to struggle with tonight, is once you start to get that car to rotate, to make sure it doesn't over-rotate and spin out.
Yep.
You'll see a lot of guys, have probably struggle with that here tonight.
That brings us into our B-Main, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll get a word for a couple of our sponsors. We'll be right back.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Cool-Ray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
All right, folks, welcome back. Here we go. Feature time tonight, and let's get set to grid these guys up here, because the man on pole going to be Brandon Templeton out front. Justin Sick there starting in second. Nicholas Vickery up in third. Brian Dickinson fourth. Stephen Spees fifth. Zach Chapman sixth. Kurt Shatner seventh. John Hind in eighth. Ty Showblock in ninth. Kyle Parker 10th. Peter Breeze 11th. Joe Alter 12th. Aiden Young 13th. Bobby Good the 14th. Folks, get ready. As we're about to make this place loud here with these cars.
Lighten it up, she don't
All right, here we go. Bring these late models to life here tonight. Williams Grove. Templeton's going to bring them to the line. Justin Sick's going to be in second. We see Victory, who has already won 2 tonight, starting in that third place spot. First time he started in some traffic, though, so we'll see how well that car reacts. John, you're kind of middle pack here. What do you got to do to get through it?
Not get into trouble here in the first couple laps, and then just try to see what we have here. I don't think I got the pace for those top guys, so I'm just going to take what the car will give me and what the track will give me, and that's the goal. Try to get out, make all the laps here, and get out of here tonight.
There you go. Go Templeton and company up front. Justin Sick, he's been fast all night too. But what's going to prevail here? Top line, low line, middle line? We'll have to see here shortly as pace trucks in. About set for green flag action. Crank this thing up. Dylan Westbrook start here. Icon Sim Sports. Well, we already talked about cranking it up. How about just like setting it up in the back? Zach Chapman around, caution out, folks. Go back on the Malcolm Mills replay. See what happened to this one. Looked like maybe some checkup happened, but we're going to watch one more time. We're going to watch some Chapman's view. Oh, yeah, maybe a little checkup. Oh, Hine involved in that one, too. So they got Spees, Young, Hine, and Chapman back there. Just nowhere to go. And that's what you feared and you talked about on the start here, John, was just staying out of trouble, but especially when it's on the start and it's just an accordion effect, nothing you can do.
Yeah, no, they checked up in front of me and not anything I could do there. That's a disappointing start, but it's kind of how my night's gone. So, that's all right, though. We've still got a long way to go in this. We can still recover. So we'll just see. Just got to be patient here and pick my spots. And that's what all three of us, I know Steven was really fast there in the last warm-up here, so might even, you won't hear me say this a lot often, but I may let him by just so I can follow him up through the pack the best I can.
I know, because y'all two are always at each other.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice rivalry, and it's a good thing to have a teammate like that. I mean, it pushes us both to be better and drive better, so it's a good rivalry to have, to be honest with you. But like I said, now, everybody else has got to reset here and realize, okay, we're going to go into turn 1. We should start single file here since we didn't get a whole lap in. It'll be a little easier to get things sorted out. Maybe not quite the checkup that happened the first time around, but so we'll see here. We got 1 to go here. Well, no, oddly enough, it's gonna put us back. That kind of surprises me.
Yeah, we didn't get out. Yeah, because usually you're right. Don't do the one lap and it puts us back single file.
I think the flag man drinks. I think that's what it was.
I'm gonna tell you what. They called him Barney. I don't know if they were alluding to Barney Fife or what. I mean, because sometimes he's on point, and sometimes it's who knows. Maybe got some dirt in his eye.
That's probably it. Maybe dirt in his brain. I don't know.
Pace trucks in. Templeton gets a good jump out front. 6 right there on his outside. You see Victory and Dickens are going to battle it out side by side, and Templeton had to put a slide job. Killed the momentum, and I tell you what, they might have left the door wide open for Mr. Homicide himself, and he's flirting with that inside. Uh-oh, caution out. Chapman again. Around, let's go on the Malcolm Mills replay. Not the night Chapman wants. I don't know if maybe he had to check up for something in the back, but he's right there by himself, and he just got destroyed. Wow. Car's upside down.
Yeah, I saw it out of the corner of my eye. Flip it, had to yank down to the inside there, and like I said, and that's all product of quarter entry here. Without seeing the replay or anything, it's if you mess these corners up, you can get into trouble. And it's not. I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's really, really difficult to get yourself out of trouble when you mess up the entries at these corners. Yeah,
and we've seen it, but man, I know Nick's up there probably kicking himself because he had to get those positions back he got. But Templeton, we're obviously the one that's going Well, that was a close one because guess what? Sick had to give that position back up that he got, which was the lead. And now Justin's up there going, really?
Yeah, and Brandon, like I said earlier, really improved, and he's been, inching up towards the front of these races, and I don't know how many of them he's experienced being able to lead. So, when you do it for the first few times, you get a little nervous. You want to get a little extra. The best thing for Brandon to do right now, because he's fast, just to relax and just do what he's been doing. And he may be very well doing that. But I can tell you, the first few times I, led Renegades races or whatnot on Monday nights, man, I'm telling you, my stomach was in my throat. And nerves, because you don't want to mess anything up, being up there, and you want the respect of the guys around you, that kind of stuff. So, like I said, he's fast, and he should just be able to just do his thing and be just fine.
Absolutely, he's fast. And here we go, getting set to go back green. Templeton sick, Dustin Vickery. The way I said that, that sounded like Templeton sick, but no, it's actually Brandon Templeton and Justin sick. So when I say Templeton sick, it's not sick.
Yeah, and if you look right now, you got the Icon guys on the inside, you got the Spartan guys on the outside. So a little bit of a grudge match going.
Yeah, it is. So who's going to be the better of the two as we get set here on the start? Well, they go storming off into turn one side by side. Sick is up top, though. Templeton went to the down low and wasn't able to get that start. Justin takes the lead. Everybody single file. The one who has probably lost the most is the man that's won tonight. And that's going to be Nicholas Victor, who falls all the way back to 6 on that start. Chatzer, Parker, and company. Here comes Showblock. Oh, he got in the side of Vickery. Wow, drove it into that turn. They're 3 wide back there. He says, I can do that too. Oh, got up into him. Oh, and he got almost took Hind out. Good save. Wow. Oh, maybe a little rivalry going on between Showblock and Vic back there, because that's kind of what it looked like. Meanwhile, but up front, Justin's loving it. Out there, good. Templeton, Dickens sitting in third. Chatzer right now, he's getting harassed by Parker, who was down low. Well, that car almost slid around on him. He had to get out of it. Breeze back in 6th spot. Spees hanging on to the 7th. And Hine and Vickery now racing each other. As excuse me, that's the good right there. And Hine's right behind them. O'Block's back here racing with Zach Chapman. So you've got some heavy hitter names in the back of this pack here, folks, that just can't make headway to the front. We've seen it all night long. Very tough place to pass here at Williams Grove. And a tough place to even try to get anything going. Who in the world? That's Bob the Good, just destroyed the inside wall. Go back on the Malcolm Mills replay. He clobbered that inside wall, caught those tires. Let's see it one more time here. Boom! Yep. The Donuts jumped out and got him. Flipped him upside down. His night's done. Wow. A little hairy spot back there, John. Vickery almost ended up in your lap.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the way my night's gone. I don't know if I got a Target sponsorship where they got that bullseye on me, but I hope the good people up in Minneapolis, give them an idea. Maybe they'll write me a check for put that bullseye on me.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely, because it was crazy back there, and man, I know some good racing so far, but boy, the good did what you said earlier. Just caught those tires down low.
Yeah, and it's if you're gonna run that bottom, it's tough to not do that, especially in these cars. It's even tougher than the other ones because it's just they don't handle quite as good. And we're 8 laps in, and the only thing I'm counting down. It's like when you're at work, it's 4:30, and that last half hour feels like it takes 2 hours. Right now, I'm that guy looking at that clock trying to count it down, and it's just taking too long.
Oh yeah.
But I can tell you, it's ironic is I'm doing that because I'm back here not quite having the night I want. But I can guarantee you, the leader is probably that same guy looking at that clock watching that thing. Man, why can't those laps go off faster? So it's funny. It's all perspective, but depending on how your night goes, how you view things through your lens. But this restart should help Templeton. Now I'm looking up there and I see he's going to be able to start on the outside here. So it'll be interesting to see if he can use that to his advantage and regain the lead.
Absolutely, and they're going to go side by side. It'll be Justin Sick up front. Templeton along with him. Dickens, pace trucks in, green flag, back racing. And you see Sick gets that good jump. Got to go back here. Kyle Parker gets up. It's a big wreck. Slid it around. Took out young Zach Chapman, caution out. That car just got away from him and it just went sideways.
Yeah, I've gained a lot of spots there. Oh, good. The only one I have to give a spot to is Nick. So that's going to be not too bad here. We gained some spots here. Well, I don't know what happened, but I tell you what, it looked like everybody in that outside lane just came to a stop, you know. It's such an interesting perspective from inside the car. You can see it out of the corner of your eye. That you just have that moment of, ooh, I'm glad I'm not up there.
Absolutely. Let's see if we go single file on this one, though.
Yeah, I don't know how many cautions we have or not, but this is why my rule of thumb is the third caution we go single file. So, but and there's no right or wrong way to admin or whatever, but yeah, it's usually what I do here, and that's the thing. But we'll see what happens here when we come around for the one to go.
That. We'll see what heads up here. So we're going back double file.
Sure are.
Gonna be Sick out front. On with Templeton again. Now I could say it the other way. Sick, Templeton.
Yeah, now it's funny though, the roles are reversed now. Sick has got surrounded there by Icon guys, but the Icon guys are, on the first two on that outside row. So we'll see how this start goes here once again, and hopefully for my sake, I'm on the outside here. I'm gonna hope that hope it doesn't repeat itself.
Okay, fasten them up. Here we go. Pace trucks in. Green flag's about to fly. Justin Sick and company.
Green, green, green.
Gets a good start, along with Dickens and Schatzer. Schatzer's right behind him. Vic's up top. Uh-oh! Wow, Templeton went around. Let's see what happened to Templeton. I think he just, the Malcolm Mills replay, I think maybe. I don't know if he got a little help. I wasn't up there watching it, but. Oh, he had to check up for Sick. And just got turned around, nowhere to go.
Yeah, that was a close call for me, boy. I tell you, I saw that happen, and I told you earlier about looking ahead, not the car in front of you. If I was looking at the car in front of me, I would have probably piled into that. But when I saw it ahead, I was able to go up into the outside there. So that that helps when you do that. But that's a tough break for Brandon. He was having such a good run. I won't be a bit surprised though. We're still not even halfway into this thing yet. So I mean, I have to think that I won't be a bit surprised if I don't see him back up here.
Hey, shout out there. Old Victory has actually been through about every wreck in the last couple cautions. Still out there.
Yeah, I think in NASCAR one time, it wasn't Kevin Harvick that said Jimmy Johnson had a golden horseshoe and stuck up somewhere, and I'm watching Nicholas there dodge some of these things, and I think the golden horseshoe is riding with him.
Absolutely. Justin out front. Dickens and Schatz are right there. Vic's going to be in fourth. Peter Breeze in fifth. Speed's there in sixth behind him. Fortunately, like I say, Temple is going to be back there in 12th, and he does got some time to get back up front. See if this is going to be a single file start here, though.
The last couple should have been, because it was, well, I don't think we got full laps, but nope, we're going to go double file again. And now it's going to be tough for me again. Now I'm back on the bottom, so now I have to brake early here. So watch turn one. It's had a lot of action there so far tonight.
Yes, it is. Back double file. Racestruck's in, green flag, back racing here. Our Thursday Night Thunder. Pro late model sees Sick gets a good jump out there, and Nicholas here up into the third place, and here comes Dickens to the inside though. Justin made a slide job move on him and made it work, but unfortunately got up into the wall. Justin's going to crisscross around, and here's where Vic's going to have to be very patient because those two guys up there beating and banging with each other. Justin takes that slide job move, makes it worse, crisscross back over. Here comes Vic to the inside of him for the second place. Well, he thought about it for a moment. Nope, Dickens is now going to take the lead. These guys, man, are back and forth up front. I think Vic's going to just kind of hold back and see what they do. Don't want to get in the back end of everybody. You see Justin takes another slide job. Here comes Dickens, going to crisscross him back over. Good race for the lead here. Wow, well, I thought Dickens was going to try. Wasn't able to get close. He gets in the back of him. And then Vic gets in the back of him. And then somebody else gets in the back of him. It's an accordion, but Justin Sick. Oh, I had to check up, and Dickens nowhere to go. Wow. I've seen that all night long. What is causing that there, John? With these guys look like they're going in and they're having to check up in the front. I mean, obviously the guy behind them can't get on the binders quick enough, but what do you think is causing that?
It's that different agendas. Some guys are backing their corner up, some guys are driving it in harder, but the other thing that I'm seeing here, and guys are changing lanes, and when you go into a corner and decide to go from the bottom to the top in the center of the corner, especially this close to after a restart, chances are you got somebody outside and whatnot. It just like I've been saying all night, just a tough track for these cars, and it's just that's what it's just got to boil down to. You normally don't see these guys do this, but when you go into turn one, the cars just don't want to turn. Even if in the slick, if you try to get the slick now to turn them, it over rotates. So it's going to take patience. I mean, to clean it up at this point, it's got to take patience. Everybody's going to have to understand that. Everybody's going to get woed up a lot more than what everybody would probably like to in the corner, and just kind of have some give and take here to get us going here and get some green laps in.
Every time I was sitting up there, they were throwing some good sliders on each other. The problem is the guy that would throw the slider and make the slide job work, he would get up there and that car would just be almost instantly a stop. And the guy behind him did not just cut left real quick. I mean, he was going to run in the back of him, and it's really no fault on the guy behind. I mean, that's just like you've said all night long, just racing.
Yep, and when you slide up like that and you kill all your momentum, that guy behind you has got a decision to make: to turn down or drive through you. And like I said, that's all part of give and take. If you see the guy coming and he's going to get there, sometimes you might have to do a little bit to let that go or set him up for the crossover. Yeah. But we'll see how it goes from here.
Hey, what? You got hats off to Victory and Speeds, though. Those two guys have been in some wild ones and are up front here. But give my hats off to Dickens. He's going to lead them in to turn one, green flag. He gets out front in front. See what Vic's going to do. Is he going to turn it down low, or is he going to stay up high? Speed's right there on his back end. Got to be patient, but I don't see how patient Speeds is. As Schatzer's there, Chapman's there. Dickens looking awful fast out front. We got to go back here about 4th, 5th place spot. Side by side, old Kyle Parker doing a little rubbing. On the side, Templeton's made his way back up to 6th. Remember, he was way back in 12th earlier on. John's right there behind him, seeing everything going on in front of him. Good battle happening. Chapman bangs off the wall. That was Templeton bangs off the wall on the top side. Chapman's down low there with Parker along with him. Hine got a little wiggly back on the backside. Here comes Justin 6th. So you got a lot of fast guys. Oh, Justin, throw that thing on the inside. He's driving mad, angry right now. He wants to get back to the front. He knows he had a fast machine that could get it done. Vic right now is not making any headway on Dickens. Dickens is walking away with almost a second lead. Wow. Now look at Justin making that low line work. He's going to come up underneath Parker. Steamroll him, maybe. I thought he was there for a second. Here comes Justin throwing it on the inside. Templeton's out in front of him. Schatzer's there hanging on the 4th. Spees is trying to look on the inside of Vickery. Not able to get it done yet. Spees right now trying everything he can. Dickens is the man out front. Oh, where he came from. Oh, almost a little contact between Spees and Vickery as Vickery sends it into the turn. Slide job move, and Vic was able to cross him over. Boy, again, saw it. Because all that momentum gets killed. Nick's going to make the same move right there, but he's going to... Oh, well, I thought he was going to get high enough. He taps the wall. That's a great race for second place here. Wow, Spees might be able to clear him this time. No. Spees wasn't. Vickery was able to motor that machine to the outside of him. Meanwhile, here comes Templeton. Man, I tell you what, wasn't long ago, he was in the back. Now he's up here battling for 3rd place. And behind him, you got 3 machines. So you got about 4 or 5 cars. Parker's there in the mix. Justin 6th coming back to the front. He's driving that low line. Very, very mad right now. Looking bad fast down there. Dickens out front. Got Vickery hanging on to 2nd. Spees there in 3rd. Templeton up in 4th. They're all nose to tail for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and 5th. Spees peeking down on the inside. Oh, wait a minute. This looks like Parker down low. Parker down low. You see in that 13 machine. Parker makes the pass on Templeton. Templeton's looking on his inside again. As here comes Justin 6th, going to work over Schatzer. So you've got about 6 machines right there, all in a freight train under a blanket. Any one of these guys could do it. Meanwhile, Dickens is going loving everything he's seeing because he's got almost a 2-second lead over this pack. I don't know what he has found. Maybe he took some cues from the homicide man from earlier tonight because he is long gone. Here comes Spees looking on that inside. He peeks every once in a while. Justin 6th has got the low line rumbling. And every time I turn around, he's right there. Oh, Kyle Parker says, I see what you're doing. I'm going to come down here with you. 6th says, that's fine, but I'm going to go a little lower. Going to take 3 wide here with Spees. Parker's on his inside. And Parker's going to make it work right now. Vickery up high, and Kyle Parker moves us side by side for a battle for 2nd. I don't know what they found down low, but they found something. Kyle Parker is moving into 2nd. He brings that thing to life. Wow, puts Vic back to 3rd. And kind of woes up a little bit. Now you've got a 3-wide battle for 3rd. Justin's around. I knew that was probably going to happen. All those guys were kind of hooked up. And Justin 2nd, unfortunately, kept coming up the track. And they all got hooked together, and he was the one that took the worst end of that one. Wow. Well, they found something on the low line there, John.
Yeah, I saw it. I have some damage from getting hit around earlier, so I'm just riding at this point. I don't have the car to turn down there, but I'll tell you, those guys were making some hay down there. So, we'll see how this thing finishes out. See if they stay down there and try to take that lead. I know one guy that didn't want to see that is Brian Dickens.
Oh,
now Now he's going to have a couple of really hungry Spartan guys there right on his outside and behind him. And I see Spees up there going to be on the outside too, right behind Kyle Parker. So don't go anywhere, folks. This one's going to be a nail biter right down to the end.
Absolutely. Yeah, because now Dickens got to do it all over again. And he's got Parker. Parker's found something right there, so wow.
Yeah, I'll tell you another guy that was making the bottom run that was just coming in. I know he's back here in 8th, but I think you probably go back down there and be interested to see how many guys he tries to get is Aiden Young here. He got around me and just powered around me on the bottom there, so he's got that rolling for himself too.
Yeah, it is. We're going to take a single foul, though, and then that definitely might help Dickens out.
Well, with 4 to go, that's, we'll have it here, so we'll see.
All right. Now, that's one thing I think Dickens would like to see is that single foul. See if Parker's going to be able to hang on to his pace trucks in and see Dickens instantly get that good jump. Parker's there with him. Vic's now got to put up with Spees on his back bumper. Goes down to the middle of the track. I don't think it's going to work. As Spees is going to look to try to take 3rd place from him. On that inside, looks like the top lane has gone away. Late in this one, Spees down low. See Templeton right there behind him, but Spees not been able to make that pass quite yet. Parker moving in on Dickens. He's right there with him. Dickens still got a pretty good lead out here. See, Spees right now still working that 3rd place battle. Spees puts the slider. Oh, and Vic gets up in the wall. I think he might have thought Spees was going to come up. Trying to give him enough room. Here comes Templeton on the inside, though. And Aiden Young bringing it down there low. These cars get hooked up so easily. Ouch. Templeton around. High around. Oh, Malcolm Mills replay. Watch what happened. The shot right there. Aiden went on the inside. Got a little side-by-side with Templeton. And he caught... Somebody... That was John that stuffed him in the back.
Yeah, I didn't see the contact.
Thought he caught the wall.
Yeah, and he stopped. And I'm going to be honest, I was on the brakes and just slid on the dirt right into him.
Yeah. Nowhere to go, man, really.
Yeah.
There's a little contact to him, Aiden, and I thought he might have caught that wall when I saw the car go up in the air like that, but I saw you up underneath him.
Nope. I got a good view of his underneath his car there, and
checking his suspension out for him, huh?
Yeah, I just when something like that happens and your foot's in it, these cars, like I said, don't stop on a dime.
No, they don't. All right. Can't get back here in the green. Only a couple laps to go in this one.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that can happen, though. I mean, the thing is too, when you see someone have a problem like that, your instinct too is to slam on the brakes like that, and I did that. But you notice there's a couple other guys that piled in too, and it just happens fast, it's not any driver's fault. It's our reaction. We don't have reaction times like Kyle Larson.
Yeah, there you go. We're supposed to, though.
Now, if I had reaction times like Mr. Kyle Larson, I'd be asking Rick Hendrick for some money too.
Yeah, there you go. Been a good race here. Late models here tonight. We'll go back single file here.
Green flag.
Green flag. Hang out racing. Dickens gets that good jump, but here comes Parker and Spees. And Spees is there. Maybe he's going to look to try to get that third place spot away. Parker's protecting the low line. Dickens there with him. Spees went a little bit high, lost some momentum. White flag one more time. Picks up top. Aiden Young down low. All Spees. Can he hang on to it? Because Dickens is going to be the man out of 3 and 4. One more time. And Speed's going to hang on to third. It'll be Parker coming home in second. Oh, Dickens bringing it home here tonight in the late models. One good finish to these guys. Some of these guys up here and get a word with them. What a night it's been here. Some racing. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Been awesome so far. We're able to stop the homicide man out there. Can't find our part. And Dickens. And these Spees down there. God, Spees at? There he is.
Should be in the gambler chat.
There he is. Blended in. Alright. Bring third place man up here. You want to talk to him?
Sure.
Alright, bring up Steven Spees.
Steven Spees, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Well, that's kind of a rough and tumble night. Walk me through your night and how did you survive?
Attrition, I guess. That was, you know how I feel about this track already. So, I wasn't surprised. I had no expectation and didn't make it past turn 2 there on the first lap and just went to the back and waited for other people to crash and got 3 wide there once. And I think we all bounced off each other and went back a little bit again. But finally got there in third place and we're done with it. I'm happy to move on.
Yeah, you're probably driving the hauler out of this track quicker than you're going down the straightaways. But, hey, still, man, podium finish, that's going to be a good points night for you. So congratulations on that. Anybody you want to give a shout-out to?
We have to say our thanks to Epsilon Sprint Wraps for putting the wrap on this car. Cool Ray for all that he does for the leagues here. And I guess I'll say thanks to all the Gambler teammates for showing up tonight, and we got to run in the back together there for a while, so I guess that was entertaining.
Yeah, we even got to trade some paint, so nice close quarters racing with teammates. But congratulations again on third place tonight. Once again, that is Steven Spees.
Absolutely, like you said, bringing it home, third place like Steven Spees did. We'll bring up second place, man. Kyle Parker here, rumbled to the front.
Hey, Kyle Parker, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, it's been a long time, but welcome back to the podium in C2C Racing. Tell me, walk me through your night. How did you survive?
Oh, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Ever since they made this new tire model update for the Prolates, I haven't really, been consistent or fast as I used to be, before the update. So I told the guys to do me right before the race. I was like, I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to chill. And, if I get a top 5, top 10, so be it. I haven't been running a lot. I think this is like maybe my 3rd race of the season, and I just don't want to ruin anybody else's night. So sorry for Chapman. I mean, I don't know if it was so hard getting into the turn. I don't know if he, was using the brake a little bit or he was pushing a little bit, but I just felt like I was going so much faster, and I kind of smeared him there. So I'd like to, apologize to him, but it was fun. I miss it. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I can tell you, from my view, because I got to sit in the back there and watch everybody, I think everybody kind of doored somebody tonight. These cars did not want to turn going into the corners. So you did a great job coming up there. And like I said, I think surviving is the apt term. And it is good to have you back on. And I'd be remiss not to ask you, how's your dad and how's your family doing?
Oh, they're doing great. Actually, unfortunately he lost his house and everything, but he found another house pretty quick. Thankfully, a realtor he knew, helped him out, found him a home, and we ended up raising like $1,500 or $2,000 for him stuff. And then with the league, helping out. I mean, I think we raised like $400 or $500 from the league itself. So it's huge, just because it's it's crazy because it's an iRacing, so it's a sim, you know. But it's just amazing how this sim can affect the real world, you know. Just it's thanks to everyone that put it on, and Joe for broadcasting, and you guys for putting it together. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, I'm just glad to hear that he's found a house and everything else. That's a tough break, and it's good to see you back out here. And I don't want to see you on the podium too many times, but
all right.
But you know what? Hey, good job, and maybe next time you can do one better and win one of these things. You should be hard. You won a lot of them. So once again, that is Kyle Parker, our runner-up driver tonight.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Coming to the front, and like I say, we always keep our thoughts and prayers in with his family there that went through that fire. Never see that, but this guy got out front, Brian Dickens, and won it. Dickens, join the booth. Got a copy?
Got you, buddy.
Hey, I tell you what, once you got out front, you found something. That car was working.
Yeah, man, it was good out front. Good race. I didn't mean to get in the sick. Definitely didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to get into Vic at the beginning of the race as well. I apologize on that. Definitely didn't mean to do that. But,
what was your take on how these cars were handling as far as having low line, high line?
Well, the low line it's workable, but very treacherous, very slick on the bottom. I mean, you got to hit your marks like dead on to be fast. I was getting down there and getting some runs, but whole lot tougher to run down there than it is up top, in my opinion.
Well, I'll tell you what, you proved you got out front. You won this thing here tonight for the Cool Rays Coast to Coast Racing League and the late models here. You got anybody you want to thank for an awesome victory?
Absolutely. I got to thank Icon Sim Sports, all the guys, Rob, Joe Halter, the Schatzers, Ty and Kurt, Brandon Templeton, list goes on and on. I enjoy running with these guys. Have a blast. You guys is the league here is really awesome. Never ran anything like this. It was so accountable. Everywhere else, you gotta basically drive through somebody's door to get by them, and you're going to get done that way as well. Like I said, I didn't want to take sick out tonight. I apologize.
Hey, I'll tell you what, still brought it home, victory lane. Good run for you tonight. Again, congratulations on that win.
Thank you, man.
There we go. Brian Dickens bringing it home, folks. I tell you what a night it has been. These guys, man, brought it all here for our super late models here tonight. For myself and everybody here at the Cool Rays Coast to Coast Racing League, everyone have a good night.